It's called time, people. If you don't slow down and realize what you're doing, you might lose everything. Cause time goes by, it goes on, and it don't stop, don't stop. I said time goes by, it goes on, and it don't stop, don't stop. Sometimes it feels, sometimes feel like my time is past, like I'm an hourglass. Out in the sand, there's moving fast, moving too fast. In this life I live, life and my dad is my best friend, But it seems like I only call when I need someone. Ain't that something? People around me, the ones that I do have. It's like a here today, but it'll probably be gone tomorrow. When it's raining hard, and my car breaks down. Got no one to call on. I said triple A, son, cause time goes by. It goes on, and it don't stop, don't stop. I said time goes by. It goes on, and it don't stop, don't stop. Here we go again, live my life all alone again. I got no wife, I got no kids, no one to come home to, no one to cook for me. And when I'm sick, it's a catastrophe. My days are slow, my nights are cold, and I go to sleep. Gotta keep the TV on, no love. Babe's gal still call me Friday, she asks if I'm doing fine. She has a dollar, but baby ain't mine. Cause time goes by, it goes on, and it don't stop, don't stop. I said time goes by, it goes on, and it don't stop, don't stop. Throughout my time, my phone is served. They told what I couldn't make. Now I gotta put it in the face, Was on my grind, just so waste of time. I think that they hear me, don't wanna really deal with me, yeah. Through all these years, from what I've seen, I've had friends steal from me, same ones who live with me, yeah. When I got grown and dropped out of school, nobody was broke with me, now they all wanna roll with me. Goes by, it goes on, and it don't stop, don't stop. I said time goes by, it goes on, and it don't stop, don't stop. Cause time goes by, it goes on, and it don't stop, don't stop. I said time goes by, it goes on, and it don't stop, don't stop.
PPC Bicycle. I don't know
Jed,
who that is.
Jed, I want to say something to you, Jed, about what you were talking about. Hey, you were saying something about where the hell is Scotland getting this money from, right? To keep people on the furlough. Well, the thing is, I told you about this before. There's a predatory lending agency in America that people use to cash their paychecks and to get paycheck advances when they have like drug addiction problems and stuff like that, called Amscot. And it's American money going directly to the Scottish, government. What? And they charge like, 50% interest and shit like that on the loans that they give you, higher than 50% interest rates. And people just keep paying Amscot and borrowing from Amscot so they can keep doing their drugs and, it's basically a place where it's predatory lending. And they'll just keep giving you money, but they just.
What is it, a Scottish company?
Yeah, it's a Scottish company called Amscot, AMSCOT. And there's one on every friggin' corner in America. And it's just American money funding the Scottish government.
That's fucking mental. That is mental, because I thought we were the ones sending the money to you guys for the submarine or what the fuck it is.
Well, it's predatory lending, and they just keep giving drug addicts money every week. They just charge
crazy, mate.
55% interest rate, shit like that. And they'll cash your paycheck. And then, if you've gone too far and you haven't paid back your debts to them, they'll be like, oh yeah, come cash your paycheck. And they'll just keep it.
Fuck's sake. That was another thing that got me thinking. See with the riots in Hong Kong. Can you remember that before fucking this all kicked off? There was riots in Hong Kong and all that shit.
Yeah.
So fucking it was 2 Scottish opium drug lords that fucking started Hong Kong. They actually established Hong Kong, 2 Scottish guys with the opium trade. And it seems like it's got this connection with Britain, and it seems like Britain didn't want to really hand it over. And it was funny because it was like a contract with the British. Like almost like we had a contract with the Chinese when we gave them back China, and then China turned into a communist kind of country. And it's almost like the contract ended with Hong Kong. So we were like, I don't know, this seems to tie in with it all. This fucking coronavirus and China's fall in the economy seems to be tied in with Hong Kong, Britain, trade. Okay, it all seems to tie in somehow.
Anything Scotland has done over the last, 50, 60 years has been seen as being done under the umbrella of the United Kingdom, though, correct?
Yeah.
So there's no independent Scotland anymore, right?
No, technically, no, really not.
But what about the Brexit?
Brexit? No, we're with Brexit as well because we're part of Britain, so we have to go with the whole Brexit.
Are you part of Britain? Are you part of England? Are you part of UK? Because those are all different things.
United Kingdom and Great Britain.
Well, we're part of Britain. What do you think, Daz? What's your opinion on that?
On what, Brexit?
The UK, I don't know.
Aye. UK, United Kingdom. Aye.
United Kingdom, aye, that was my sort of understanding it,
aye.
That's got Ireland in it, right? Or Northern Ireland? It's part of UK, right?
Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland, yeah.
So Dan's from the Republic, so he doesn't count with that. So Brexit could be an issue for us. I doubt it would, but it could be because he's not technically part of the UK. And I mean, we'd just get a quick wedding if that was a problem, It's not what I want.
Well, before all this shit kicked off, they were talking about building a bridge for fucking Northern Ireland into Scotland. So I was thinking that's just a way that the fucking Europeans can come into Britain somehow through Ireland, and then over the bridge into Scotland and back down to England again.
Why wouldn't they build the bridge to Wales? Isn't Wales geographically closer than Scotland?
To where?
To the Irish island?
Nah. Northern Ireland, and there's the west coast of Scotland. It's called, is it Giant's Causeway? Is it Giant's Causeway? There's a part, there's only a few miles. You can actually see Ireland for Scotland. You can fucking see it.
Yeah.
So I guess in the Olympics, the UK is comprised of Scotland, Northern Ireland, England, and Wales, right? And then the Republic of Ireland is its own country in the Olympics, I guess, then.
Yeah. So we're Team GB. It's not Team England or Team Scotland, it's Team GB. And what you just mentioned about people traveling or through a road, when we fly from Dublin to England, the security is so relaxed. Like when we landed in England, there was no security getting off the plane. I was genuinely really surprised because I haven't flown before I went to Dublin last year. I hadn't flown for 7 years. And that was from Portugal, and there was a lot more security coming back in. But coming in from the Republic of Ireland to England, we just literally got off the plane and I walked and got a taxi. It was ridiculous. There was no security. There was nobody checking bags, no metal detectors or anything. It was just, okay, you've landed, which was crazy because there was an American on our flight that had connected. She was on her way to Birmingham and had connected through Dublin. Mm-hmm. So surely she should have been checked whilst coming into the country.
Yep.
I just found it really insane that the lack of security both ways as well. I mean, going through Dublin, at least somebody checked my passport every time. But yeah, it's crazy.
Same with the ferry. I'm sure the ferry, there's no much checking when you jump on the ferry to go over to Ireland. Like we sometimes have got jobs that go over to Ireland, like in the vans, and it's not like they go through the vans or checking it, and it's quite relaxed when it comes to all that shit. There's no really any border control, really.
No, I mean, Dan's auntie, she goes on the ferry so she can take her weed. You know, like nobody checked her on the ferry, so she takes her weed from where she's going to where she's going. And there's no. Your chat's going crazy. I don't know does anybody here know what's going on?
I don't know. Is it
Vlad? Is it Vlad instigating people?
I don't know.
No.
I think it could be. Is it Ice? I don't know.
I don't know. It's between. I can't even work out who it's between. I don't know who's on what side.
You're really super cool. I don't know. It seems like it's scattered everywhere. It's like everyone's talking through each other. And
true, the flight can be anywhere from £5 to £15. Like the flights are so cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. I'd just like some context. I'd like to know what's going on. You know, I've been out in my garden doing the gardening. I ain't been on YouTube. I don't know what's happening.
It's funny because it's been on YouTube for a week. Brexit, that's always on the news. That's all that was on the news for so long, and now it's just stopped. It's like everybody just stopped talking about it.
It has just disappeared.
Like I don't know if there's any laws even kicking in. Sorry, Daz.
You're right. It's not getting mentioned anymore. It's
no,
brushed under the carpet now.
Like, is any laws for the new deal kicked in? Like,
no, I don't think.
Well, it shouldn't. It shouldn't do because we don't technically leave Europe until the 30th of January 21, do we? Technically, so none of the laws should have changed as of yet. We still have to go to Parliament, to EU Parliament meetings and everything. So I can't see why any laws would have changed so far.
So Eyestosee saying, I don't know what's happening, but someone's been going around saying stuff about Eyestosee. I don't know. Like I heard it on a certain chat, and I heard it in. I don't know if Eyestosee wants to come on and explain herself.
Yeah,
let her come on
here. It's an open platform here.
It seems like all the drama is centered around her. Like someone screwed with her, or like she might be a victim in all this.
She might be. Because I had some guy fucking sending me messages. Don't trust Eyestosee. Just some weird anonymous channel. And fucking, she screwed over her boyfriend. She screws over all these guys and all the rest of it. And I'm like, who the fuck's this guy?
Did she kick her boyfriend out of her house? I thought her boyfriend lived with her.
I don't know. I don't know what's happening, man. It's none of my business, to be honest with you. What she then gets up to.
I'm a nosy bitch, so I'd really like to know personally, because I am a nosy bitch and it is in my genes as a woman.
And somebody else said she was picking up for Free Spirit as well. They were having an argument with FaZe, and apparently she was sticking up for Free Spirit and all that shit. So a lot of people turned on her through that stuff.
Well, there's your first mistake.
So how are the guys coping with it? Sport? How you doing with it? Sport, VB?
Only sport I watch is pro wrestling, baby.
And you watching it with the fan?
And that's the one that never went away. It never went away.
I've been watching the whole fucking WWE lore, the old stories. Pat Patterson, the Cream team, the underagers that used to build the ring and all that shit, man. And there's some weirds going on in the WWE, man.
Thankfully, they never really do that kind of stuff on TV, and it's all behind the scenes. Because overall, WWE is run by an extreme right-wing Republican, Vince McMahon. And so he's also very, very conservative. He doesn't allow certain things on his shows, but it's also, populist. So they can do social commentary on things, but they're always right-leaning. Pro wrestling, in general, pro wrestling has always been a right-leaning thing, because it's about male machismo.
I don't know, I think it's quite a liberal thing because you see all the they always try and get a different character, like the Sikh, they always have. It's quite diverse, should we say? Wrestling's quite a diverse thing, and I wouldn't say right-wing or diverse.
The diversity is the populist element within it, but overall, the product comes from a generally right-wing attitude place. It's a business. It's all about his business, and it's a privately owned business. And he doesn't like to pay taxes.
I don't think it would have been as successful as it fucking is if it was right-wing leaning.
What do you mean? It's like traditional. It's, you know, it goes back to the late 1890s.
But his formy wrestling, man. Vince McMahon's bodybuilder type fucking. We could say it goes back to fucking Greco fucking Roman wrestling and shit. And like we could say wrestling goes that far back, but today's version of wrestling is a sort of glamorized bodybuilders and storylines.
It's a little less towards the bodybuilders now. There's a lot more small guys and a lot more women and stuff like that, and a lot more different ethnicities and stuff. But back in the day, it was pretty much white men only kind of thing.
Wrestling back in the day was probably right wing, but nowadays, man, it's pure liberal, left wing. It's following all the agendas. You're probably gonna have the next tranny wrestler soon, man. I'm telling you, WWE, there's going to be some kind of tranny wrestler rolled out.
There's a company called AEW, which is in competition against Vince McMahon, and it's the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars American football team. He actually has 2 trannies in his company. Vince McMahon won't allow that.
They just fight each other, I take it.
What'd you say? Speak English.
Do they just fight each other?
No. One's a male to female that acts as a girl and fights the girls.
Oh, right.
And then the other one, well, I don't know if the other one's a tranny, but the other one's like flamboyantly gay. He's like a black guy with his hair dyed neon green, and he comes out there with lipstick and like booty shorts and shit.
And what chance have they got to compete in if they're if that's so liberal? How can they compete with WWE if WWE is so right wing?
They can't really.
Sorry, man. There's a wrestler with no legs as well. Is that right? A wrestler with no legs.
Wrestlers with no legs.
I saw one with an amputee wrestler. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was a kid. He lost one of his legs to cancer, and he had some matches, but that was about 15 years ago. Yeah.
And yet, this is the problem I have with transgender in sports, because the male to female, that's just not fair. Like, they can bulk up so much more than a woman can, and that isn't a fair fight. I understand that it's scripted, so it possibly isn't that important in that scenario, but it kind of invalidates the female, because if the female's being beat by this man because that's the way it's scripted, well, how? Like, that's just not going to happen.
Do you know that about a year and a half ago, there was these 2 young black men that decided that in their high school they were going to become transgendered, and they joined the girls track team, and they blew out everybody on their own team, and they blew out everybody in the entire county. And then this colleges started giving these boys the women's scholarships, and all the girls who were actually female track stars that had broken all the records as far as girls can go, they were the real winners of the track meets. But they came in 3rd place because of 2 black boys. And
yeah, so like, what's that Jenner person? What's the Jenner guy?
Bruce Jenner.
Yeah, him. It's the same story as that, because he was an Olympic athlete, and now he's a woman. So in my eyes, he can never compete again unless he competes with the men.
Oh, but he's still got his junk, so he technically probably could compete again, because he's never had his shit removed. He's still got balls.
I think they go by blood. They do blood tests to see how much of the female hormone you have injected in you. And if you have enough female hormones been injected in your body, you can count as a female. And that's how them black boys got away with it. But the thing is that they still have all the male hormones in there too. So they're still far superior athlete than any woman can ever be.
The easy way to get around that as well is to just pop a load of the fucking mini pill, fucking contraceptive pill before you go and have your blood tests, boom, boom, boom. I'm a woman. Look at me. No, like, that's not, I
seen fucking like No, it wasn't wrestling. It was weightlifting, and it was this dude. He couldn't really compete with the guys. He turned himself into a male to female, and now he's winning all the female competitions. Again, it almost reminds me of South Park when Cartman competed in the Special Olympics. You know what I mean? Because you can't really win fucking a proper like he's so badly, and he was getting beat at that as well. And it's almost like fucking. It reminds me of South Park. What's happening right now with this shit? Weird.
Yeah.
And it's weird just to watch fucking something like that used to be a man punch a woman. Kind of like I've watched some fucking fights, and I'm sure that it's been a man fighting a woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, oh, go on. Sorry.
No, on you go.
I have no issues with a man hitting a woman because I think that if a woman is big and brave enough to punch a man, she deserves a punch back. But at the same time, there is still something biologically wrong about a man hitting a woman. It still does feel like you're scaring me. Stop it. Like it still does feel really wrong and really weird. I don't know. That's just how I feel. I covered your face, you dickhead.
Yeah, well, it's like the damage. Like we know that men, if a man punches a woman, then he's got to create a lot more damage than a woman punching a man. And I've been raised to the point where if you get punched off a woman and you run away and tell the police or something, you're a big pussy. I mean, you should be able to take a slap off a woman. I mean, it does.
Aye.
I mean, have you ever heard the story of a woman or a group of women beating a man down and like beating the shit out of him for like, you know, an extended period of time where he's on the ground and they're all dogpiling on him? I don't think it happens. I mean, it might happen at some point in history, but I just don't see it happening.
I mean, I've seen it when I was younger. A lot of girls started attacking a bloke because he cheated on his girlfriend, but the bloke wouldn't hit the girls back and was literally, there was like 5 girls on him, and they knew he wouldn't hit him back, and that I think is inherently wrong. Like, you shouldn't hit somebody on the pretense that they're not going to hit you back. Like, if I was to go into a fight, I wouldn't go into a fight thinking I'm going to win this because they're not going to hit me back. No, I'd go into a fight because, well, I probably wouldn't, but go into a fight anyway. But you see what I'm trying to say. It's just wrong that women think. It's wrong that women use men's honor against them. I think that's probably the best way that I can phrase that.
Yeah, and women kind of knew back in the day for some kind of like they knew that they shouldn't overstep the line with a man because it could kind of if they get hit by a man, it could be fucking serious. You know what I mean? It's like women almost knew not to overstep that line, and there was somewhere something happened where fucking women now think they can hit men and get away with it.
It's because of the fact that women knew they couldn't test a man that way. Women adapted and used their minds to screw over men's lives and, you know, the legal system and things like that to hurt men, which is, you know, it's strategy. And over time, a lot of men started figuring out that these strategies that they were using could be debunked. And so the women got frustrated and said, well, then fuck you. I'm just going to hit you. Because, you know, like feminism has been made to look foolish now. So now, because of that, the women their only option left is to physically attack men or get the police to do it and create false police reports, blame a man for rape when it never happened, that kind of stuff. Or run and tell their brothers and male friends and husband, oh, this man over here is being creepy. He said this, X, Y, Z. And then the men go and do her dirty work for her. You know?
Yeah. So Eyestosee is in the chat now.
I really need some context. Like, why don't you jump on the fucking panel, tell us what's going on, fill us in, fill all the gaps in. I don't care which side you're on. Just join the fucking show. Instead of bickering in the chat because the panel don't know what's going on and y'all are confusing us. Okay? Okay.
So you've been still doing your daily walk, VB, around your park? Yep. Kicking up a sweat.
Big time sweat. I'm doing planks now too.
Planks? What's that again? Is that like lying flat?
Well, no. It's when you go in a push-up position and you have your butt slightly higher than the rest of your back, but you got to keep your entire core straight, and you stay on your elbows and you put your head down and you stare at the ground.
Yep. And
you stay there for as long as you can. You know, they say that after about 2 minutes, you're doing damage to your body. So I do it for 1 minute, which is it's incredibly fucking difficult to do. And then I stop, and my whole body and my whole fat gut are like jiggling and
What's it got, mate? Lie on your back, put your feet together, and just lift them like 6 inches off the ground with your feet together.
Yeah.
And keep it there. And after like 30 seconds, mate, you can feel it in your abs. Like fuck, just no weights or anything involved. Just counterbalance. So we've got Danny on the. Is this Eyestosee? I don't know.
Yeah.
How you doing, Danny?
Hey.
You've created a bit of a storm, have you not?
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know who that person is in your chat with the
Too far away from your mic, dude. Come closer to the mic. We can't hear you.
Yeah. Okay. I'm using a headset. Can you hear me any better?
It still sounds distant. Sounds like the headset isn't plugged in. Check the settings on the StreamYard. Sometimes you have to put the settings in StreamYard to what mic you're using. Yeah, but you've definitely pissed somebody off.
Somebody is upset.
Yeah. Nice to see. She's been doing quite well with her channel lately. She was streaming the Trump stuff, and she does some movies as well.
It's about the same, but I guess we just have to deal with it, and we'll just have to turn our volume up.
As long as we don't get that one fucking guy in here, man. Please don't let that fucking guy in here today, Jed.
One guy.
Which guy?
I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna make a fucking
Oh
noise
God!
every fucking thing you say, I'm just gonna constantly fucking talk and shit.
Oh.
Keep talking and shit. That guy.
I know, VB. I know. I can't with him either.
Right,
try again, Ice. Oh.
What if he's got a nice new mic?
Fuck him.
I'm gonna go get a different mic.
That sounds like a good idea.
I'm surprised Daz is all fucking teched up. Are you using a mic, Daz? Or is it just a mic for your laptop?
It's just whatever's built into the Kindle I'm using.
Oh, you're just using the Kindle?
Or an iPad, like one of the wee square telly things.
Mm-hmm.
He looks mysterious as fuck there in the dark with the hood on.
Brilliant. One of the square things. That was brilliant. There's alcohol over me.
What are you drinking?
I have vodka with lemonade and tropical fruit juice. This is kind of like a sexy screwdriver, you know? What have you got? Oh, bang. Bang, bang. You shot me down.
What's the link to join? Eyestosee. I'll put the link in the chat. As long as you're not going to porn bomb us.
Hey.
She's back.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Yeah, if anybody else is saying they're me asking to join, that's not me. Cool. Yeah, that's just another person pretending to be me. So they've brought all their friends into your chat. So
you just have victimized stalkers, or is there any truth to this?
Okay. I don't know what the heck they're talking about. That's a bunch of bullshit, but this is the context of the situation. So a little after last summer, my husband and I had kind of been cohabitating, I guess you would say, and sort of, separated, but still living together because we have kids. And we had been together for a really long time, and I had never, talked to another guy or anything, but then whatever, the video will expose. What video? What are you talking about? Anyway, so I started talking to, a guy, and then another guy after the first guy ended up being pretty creep-tastic, telling me that I didn't know how to, fix my life because I wouldn't move out right away, and I was I caused my own problems, and he was asking me to move in with him and shit, and I told him that he was stressing me out, and I had hardly even talked to him for very long. He's definitely a narcissist.
Is this your current husband, or is this the one you're talking about, or is this the new person?
This is the guy on the internet that I met, that I was talking to.
Right,
and
right.
So it ended up I did like it. Huh?
Can we give him a fake name? So you got your husband, and then who's this new guy? What are we gonna call him?
Cigar face.
Creepo?
Yeah, creep.
P Mars.
Creepo. All right.
So, I mean, I tried being just friends with him, but and I thought that was working. You know, I thought it was okay. I still had, you know, lingering feelings, and I like expressed them a little bit. And, you know, there were times I had to not talk to him at all. And so I did start talking to a different guy, and that was it. It was the two, and it did overlap. And I mean, I'm a grown up. Like, is it like am I the first person in the world that ever talked to two people at once? I mean, you know, I was telling my husband I wanted a divorce, and I've been sleeping on the couch for 2 years. So it's not like I'm, you know, scamming people on the internet like this person says. So the two people, you know, got in contact with each other, and I wasn't their girlfriend anymore at all. Like, I was just whatever. And the one ended up being like damn near sociopathic, and like stalking me in every chat that I've ever been to, sitting there like waiting for me to show up so he can ask for my husband, and finally ended up like somehow getting a hold of my husband by email, and telling him that I have dozens of boyfriends, whatever. And well, Chris, you know what? I don't care for this crap either, but they asked me, you know, anyway. So the person went into Kenny 5G, who I adore, I love, I think he's great, whatever, you know, I have no problem with him, but the, you know, the doxer trolls group that have like destroyed and taken over his channel, decided that it was a juicy enough story, they would just go roll with it. And I mean, this person is messed up. He like emailed, I can't tell you how many countless of people emailed me, and they were like, I don't know who you are, but this person is like interrogating me, asking me if I'm your boyfriend, telling me you're scamming people. And I'm like,
is this guy called Ultimate TV 4000 or something as well?
No, he's the other guy, but he actually came to me like within the last few days saying, okay, you know, I realized that, you know, that he made all that up, that you didn't actually have all those boyfriends because I asked all of them. Like he like kind of went, you know, he's got his own brain issue, you know, getting like worked up about it. And I mean, he was obsessing too. And I do still have like on and off issues with that guy, but like, I do care about that person a lot. And I still talk to him, even though there's issues with that. Like just, I'm not gonna like go into all of that, but is like still somewhere inside of him, I think, a genuine person, you know, and like feels bad about like having talked to the other guy, the creep person. And so the creep guy like doxed him in the process.
Who doxed the Ultimate TV?
Yes.
Right.
And
so there's three guys.
Yeah, and they're saying disgusting things, like all kinds of crazy shit about me. And like he's like telling people that I have dozens and dozens of YouTube boyfriends or something. They're telling people that I moved to Florida to live with Danny D, and we're pretending to be Christians to scam some Christian group. No, I didn't move. I still live with my husband, and we're trying to work things out. Like we, you know, started talking more, and I stopped talking to those men in the context of being, you know, a romantic whatever. And I didn't, I mean,
were you still living with your husband when you're having these interactions with these guys?
Yes, but we had not been sleeping in the same room together for 2 years. We were like roommates. I mean, we had kids.
Have you hung out with these other men in real life?
No, I've never met anybody off the internet in person. Like, and no, yeah. So they couldn't find anybody that, like, you know, I can't tell you how many countless people they sent like weird ass shit emails to, like saying all kinds of crazy shit to. And everybody's like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like to whoever they emailed. And so now they don't have anything left, you know, to dig up on me because there isn't anything. Now they're telling people that me and my husband are a scammer and we're in on it. Like, okay, if I was a scammer, wouldn't I be going and putting this conversation, this shit on my own channel to get people to pay me for this drama? No, obviously I'm not. Like, I don't even bring this up on my channel. So I would be the worst scammer in history.
So what do you think's created this fucking controversy?
The one
There's
person,
no smoke without fire in a way. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, the one person, it was a strike to his ego, and he went like nuts obsessing over it. Like, what the hell do you do in that situation? What are you supposed to do?
Well, didn't you kind of encourage it with him?
How did I encourage it?
I mean, you're a woman who's married, and yeah, you might be having marital problems, but you're seeking attention from another man.
Well, I hadn't had attention from my own husband for years, and that is, you know, something that's a personal thing between me and him. I mean, he knew I was married. He knew that was going on. So Rusted Soul, she's lying. I have screenshots. Okay. I don't know what kind of lying you think I'm doing. And what the hell are you talking about? Me?
Rusted Soul's actually sitting in the back.
She's one of the people
right now, but there's the panel's full. She just disappeared though. But she was just sitting in the backstage. Yeah,
she's one of the people saying the stupid shit about me. And she started that off from the very beginning when I got to Kenny's channel. I don't know what to call it other than she's fucking jealous because people started talking to me and they didn't want to hate me as much as she wanted them to.
Rusted Soul is not known for being a liar. She's known for telling the truth pretty much 100% of the time.
Okay, except for lately. But I don't sit and obsess like her, recording people's chats and taking screenshots of what everybody says to try to catch them in some kind of pretend lie. And another thing about the person who is telling people shit, that person is not telling anyone the context of any conversation we had. That person is not showing people the things he said. And no, Rusted, I have no intention in talking to you because you've lied to me multiple times. 2 times I've been on stream with you and you've said, oh yeah, I'm sorry that I said those things about you. And oh, we have more in common than I thought. I'm so glad we talked. Yeah. And then go talk shit about me again 5 minutes later. Yeah. That's really super honest.
Have you received any like gifts or anything like that from any of these people?
No.
No, you've never received any money.
I've never said, I need money. I've never given anybody any kind of sob story. I've never asked them for money. I don't do that. Like,
because to scam somebody, you need to actually be taken, like stealing.
Yeah, I'm not asking people for money. So what am I?
But they're not giving you any money.
No, they're not giving me. No, none of these people have given. I have a PayPal account that I put in my YouTube videos because I spend hours and hours and hours on them, and I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, hey, if you liked my video and you feel like leaving a tip, what the fuck's wrong with that? That's the only money I've received.
In the name of fairness, is there any way you could turn the camera on so that we could see your facial expressions while you're telling us this information?
No, I can't.
Right now,
I can't at the moment.
Why not? Because
all my kids are in.
She sounds like she got kids in the background, VB.
I do. All my kids are here, and I'm not doing that.
That's fair enough.
But I mean, I've been on the camera with you guys before.
I
don't understand. Like, I'm not going and doing the kinds of things that would legitimize the shit being said about me. Like, you know, and the creepy guy, the shit, he was still emailing me and messaging me saying that, you know, because I was talking to someone else when I was talking to him, he has to expose that. I'm like, so what, are you perfect? I'm like, he's told me God will judge me and all this crazy shit. And I'm like, he's like, no, but when I see evil or whatever, he was saying weird, like talking really weird, like, oh, I have to expose it. So he was like going into Discord servers and saying like crazy shit about me, like just making shit up. I
just don't understand why, because you seem like a nice girl and all that, and I don't know why you would get all this heat all of a sudden.
Because that group of people there, that's what they do.
What group of people? Who are you talking about? You talking about Kenny's sort of side?
Some of them, in, like Kenny's great.
FaZe, Rusted Soul. They kind of people.
Some of those people, I guess. I don't know who's making these accounts, but it seems like whenever they're there, then the rest of them follow. They're always together. And she always has like so much shit to say about me. She's never met me. We've had like 2 conversations and she just all of a sudden decided she didn't like me. And she sits in there shit like bitching, oh, everybody is kissing her ass. That she's like jealous of me or something. Like, I don't know why, because And I mean, people, have messaged me. They're like, I don't know why she's doing this to you. Like, I didn't. And so, like, I don't know. Like, they said she does this to a lot of people. And even the guy, like the creepy guy, like when I first started going to Kenny's channel, he was like, yeah, you don't want to talk to that chick. He's like, that's what she does. She pretends to be people's friend. And then until she knows something about them. And then she keeps all kinds of screenshots and tries to dox people constantly. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I liked her. That's like actually the reason.
She's sitting in the backstage right now. I think she's waiting for somebody to drop. So if Rusty Soul wants to come in and add
I'll jump off.
I'm not talking to her. She's crazy.
Well, we might even get consolation because this is a platform.
There's been plenty of pretend consolation from her, and someone told me that she actually blocked this guy. Like they realized he was a creep and kicked him out because he was following them from their chat to their hangout or something like after the stream had ended, and they ended up blocking him, or she ended up blocking him. Someone told me that yesterday.
So full of shit. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, I can't hear. I don't think I can hear.
Have I ever asked you for money? Have I ever asked anyone on that channel for money?
No, but you lied about asking people for money and then said that somebody forced you to open up
anybody forced
a GoFundMe. And then you're like, the GoFundMe's closed. I'm like, and it's still up. And you're like, well, people were still donating, so I left it up. I'm like, dude, I don't care if you ask people for money. Just don't lie
I did have a GoFundMe for a project that I completed, and that's it.
Yeah, and it was still running after it was completed to get more money.
Because I'm going on another flight, and I wasn't done.
Well, why'd you lie about it then?
How is that lying?
No, because you did.
A flight where?
Shots that I was calling you out.
Because if I had closed the GoFundMe before I went on the other flight, it seemed to me like it would have looked like I was just trying to get money for no reason. I used money out of my own pocket on top of the money that I got in donations for that flight.
All right. Well, I got screenshots of multiple dudes.
Screenshots of what?
10 dudes. Dude, like this guy that you're talking about reached out to multiple people, and there was a lot of guys that hit him back with a bunch of screenshots and pictures and a bunch of shit that
a lot of guys or one person pretending to be a lot of guys.
Fuck horses, all kinds of nasty shit, dude.
No,
you're gross. The shit that I saw.
Can I pause just for a sec?
There's nothing
women,
in your
mind. Ladies. Rusted Soul, were you?
This is I've just been eating popcorn, watching the fucking dudes roll out.
Yeah, because that's what you do. You like that kind of shit.
I won't ask my question.
I fucking love it. What are you talking about?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
You're a super hoe bag, and this shit's hilarious to me. You're lying. You're trying to scam truthers. You think it's not going to bite you in the ass, dude? You think they're not
Do you think I give a shit what you think about me at all? Okay, that is something you have never realized in your little brain.
And you're getting yours. So
what's the question, Kakes?
I'm getting mine. I'm getting my what?
Rusted Soul was
airing out all your dirty fucking laundry.
You want to know if Rusty Soul was the what?
Your shit, dude.
Was the girl who was on Hitchhikers who told Free Spirit to shut the fuck up?
I think so, yeah.
And that's what I wanted to ask
know how to shut up.
So I had some context.
This might be connected to the Free Spirit thing.
Yeah, you're my only boyfriend. Blah, blah,
Free Spirit. Free Spirit.
I'm sorry, Jed. I can't hear you. I don't know why I can't hear you.
Because you won't shut the fuck up.
No, I really can't. There's no audio. I can only hear stupid ass fucking
Can you hear me, Rusted? Can you hear me? The English one. I don't think she can hear me. The English one. Rusted.
They're trying to talk to you.
Can you hear me?
There's a video being made right now of all of it. So if other guys want to come out,
who cares?
I'm sure they're coming out.
Of my leg.
Can't hear me.
Apparently the guys care.
Ribbit.
I don't care. I'm laughing at it because I knew you were.
I don't even know what is going to be in this video because I'm not in any kind of video with anybody. That doesn't even make any sense.
They got the webcam shit. They got a lot of stuff on you.
And
where's
you
the
think
second flight to? Where's the second flight to?
I haven't even picked a location.
What are you going to do? What's the project for?
Obviously, I can't go anywhere because of the world shit that's going on right now. I can't just go take off in an airplane.
This is 3 months ago that you said you were planning a second trip and you haven't thought about where you want to go?
The airplane thing, it's an open cockpit biplane and they don't do flights until April, and April was last month, and they're not doing anything right now because of the COVID shit. I can't do it.
3 months ago is when you were talking about it first, getting money for it. More.
No, it was longer than 3 months ago, and I went on the first flight, but you didn't take the time to pay attention to that.
Where would you have gone for the second one? Where would you have gone for the second one, and for what purpose?
It was a flat Earth. I was trying to observe atmospheric refraction over water and the sunset from, a higher altitude. But when I went on the flight, it was one of the last days of the flight season because it's an open cockpit and winter was coming. They don't fly from like November to April, I think. And so I had one of the very last booking days, and it was warm. It was like the last warm day, and there was not a cloud in the sky. And so it's time to take off, and we go to fly, and then it gets cloudy, like right in front of the sun. So I couldn't even record the sunset. It fucking sucked. But I mean,
there was no guy that you were going to meet up with somewhere.
No, I was in an airplane. I got like at a local airport. I flew around, got back in my car, and drove back home. I didn't go anywhere.
Oh, it wasn't. Okay, it wasn't a flight to us.
No, I didn't go anywhere.
Or Mile High Club. No, Mile High. I can't see my Rusted. Can you hear me now?
The truth always comes out.
Thank you, Tim.
She can't hear me. Can you hear? VB, can she hear you? See if she can hear you.
See, that's this chick's problem. Like she's like
I can hear
obsessed
VB, but
with
I
me
can't
for
hear
some
Kakes
reason.
or Jed for some reason. I don't know why.
Okay.
StreamYard does that sometimes. It does that
I have
sometimes.
you
When there's too
muted.
many people on, it does that.
Somehow.
VB, can you ask her if she's the girl who shouted
at VB though? You can translate if you want VB. Since
if she's the girl who shut up then.
What are they saying?
If she's the girl who shouted at Free Spirit on
Maybe I should try and
Hitchhikers.
drop and rejoin or something.
Are you the girl who shouted at Free Spirit during
Hitchhikers?
During Hitchhikers.
Well, okay. So both of these females came in to Hitch's
It was a simple
hangout
yes
at the
or
same
no.
time.
Yeah,
They
she's
came
gonna make.
in with,
I
like,
don't
a
know
bunch
that
of-
girl.
Are you gonna let me talk? Or
No,
are you
because
just
you're
gonna
full
talk
of
over me the
shit.
whole time?
Look, that's
No,
you.
let her-
That was
let
your
her
little
talk.
liar's
Come on,
chuckle.
let her-
Sure, go ahead.
Let her talk.
This is from my perspective, dude. Like, they came in at the same time. Free Spirit, Open Soul started talking. She would talk for like 8 hours at a time on the stream. We were giving her a chance. She was cool for a little bit, and then one day she started talking a bunch of shit about PMARS and how they dated, and we were like,
It was
"Wait,
that
what?
stream.
We know PMARS. What the fuck?" And P, usually he's the one that starts coming in saying, and he actually didn't like. We had no idea they knew each other, so I was surprised because I don't really like P that much, but like. Like we have our differences, but he's been around for a minute and he's one to like kind of make it known if like he's talking to somebody. So the fact that he didn't say anything was surprising. Anyway, so she started talking a bunch of shit about how they dated and all this other stuff, and then tried gaslighting us all, saying that he's the one that brought it up. And I defended her, and she got, she started calling Hitch a little bitch and was being,
Okay, actually,
unruly.
I wasn't there for that.
And-
I didn't hear any of that happen.
Yeah, why are you talking then? If you weren't there for that, then what the fuck are you talking?
What are you talking about? You're building up a
I'm
backstory
explaining.
so it
He
doesn't
just
sound like
asked
you're a
me
liar.
fucking question about Free Spirit and how I'm just explaining how you guys both came in at the same night with the same group of trolls. You denied knowing them, and then 3 weeks later,
I
you
didn't
admitted
deny
you
knowing
dated
them.
one of them. You did. You
No,
so
I
did.
said
We
I
have it
wasn't
recorded.
from that guy's channel.
Okay, you said you have never met the Ultimate TV 9000.
No, I never said that.
You said, yeah, you did. And
No, I
then
didn't.
3 weeks later, you admit, oh my God, I have a whole chat of people that fucking heard you. Like, come on, don't fucking lie.
Okay,
Anyways,
you're making that up.
so, Jesus fucking Christ. Are you gonna let me just finish, dude? So basically, we catch her in all these lies left and right. Like little lies, like shit that doesn't matter. Like usually like pathological liars, they can't keep their own lies straight. And they lie about really
No,
dumb,
you can't,
little
can
shit.
you?
Yeah. So that's what you're doing right fucking now. It's trying to
That's what
gaslight
you're
this
doing
fucking
because you
bullshit.
don't know anything about
That's
me.
what you're doing.
You don't know these people that
Okay,
this
dude.
guy. You
Whatever.
said you didn't know
dude. We
the
caught you
guy.
in lies, and now you're sitting here trying to backpedal
I don't-
and be like, "Oh,
What
I
lies,
wasn't
though?
flirting. I don't
Like
do
that's
this."
the thing.
It's
Like
cool,
you're
dude.
making
It's
shit
cool.
up
True colors.
because
I'm
you
not
feel
making anything up.
special when you
Truth
like
comes out. Truth is coming
supposedly
out, dude.
catch people lying, and that's all you do. You sit and like watch people all day long like some kind of fucking creep and record everything people say so you can go
I
back
can't
and
even.
catch
I don't even
them
have
in
the
a
ability
lie.
to record. I don't even have the ability to record anybody. I'm
Then
not
why
fucking
are you
bitch.
always saying I have screenshots? I have
do, because
screenshots.
the guys shared.
What
a
kind of
group-
creep
I
does
was
that
in a-
kind of
I was in a
shit?
side group. I was in
Who
a side
sits
chat with
around
a bunch of
taking
your exes.
screenshots of shit all
I
day
was
long
in-
like
You know
that?
what? Your exes reached out to me and said, "Hey, do you know this chick? Do you know anything about her?" Because they
Yeah,
entered
because
me
the
into a
other
chat where they
one was
showed
fucking
screenshots
psycho,
of the shit
and you
that
hated me
say.
already, so you couldn't fucking
did,
wait to
yeah,
you
'cause
couldn't
you're a
wait to
fucking
use
liar.
that. Look
'Cause
at you,
you're a
you're
liar, dude.
pathetic. You're fucking
You're-
disgusting.
Okay. Then I'm pathetic. I'm disgusting. I don't really care. Can we move on? Can you shut the fuck up for like 2 minutes ever?
Why? So you can say more pathetic, disgusting things?
So fucking.
Yeah, there you go.
Rage quit.
She did that to me like every time I went there, and I don't even know why, because she invited me to their Discord server because we got along. I thought she was kind of awesome. But then the guy that actually is making up all this shit, like causing this problem, told me, "Oh, you don't want to talk to her. She doxes people. She pretends she's your friend and sits there and like watches you until she finds something to bitch about and thinks she's doxing people." And he's like, and I called her out on it and I made her cry. It's like, it was saying that to me, and I'm like, that's weird, whatever. He was saying that she's like this and like that her group of friends are. And I'm like, at this point, I'm tired of people telling me, don't watch this channel. Don't watch this channel. I'm going to fucking go where I want to go and talk to people and make my own decisions about people based on how they interact with me. I'm not going to listen to some dumb bitch like that who can't wait to sit and run her mouth about people. That's what she does all damn day long. Every time I'd come in there, why do you guys kiss her ass? Why does everybody kiss? Because I'm fucking nice to people and I don't go talking shit and spending my day talking shit about people like you. That's why. I actually have human decency and the ability to feel empathy like you don't, because you're fucking narcissistic as the rest of them.
Rusted Soul is saying basically that you're just being a playgirl and you're just out here getting all this attention from all these different men.
So
are you just denying that? Are you denying that?
Damn, I can't hear anybody.
I mean, what attention? Like, I don't even know what that means. Like, I have 1,000 subs. People come to my channel and watch my videos and chat with me in my streams. Is that the attention I'm getting?
When she came into our little group the first night, like within the first sentence, she said, "I'm just trying to get 1,000 subs," and we made fun of her and called her Arwen. She didn't know who Arwen was. She said she doesn't know anything about Flat Earth.
There was a reason I was trying to get 1,000 subs, and I wasn't there. You fucking dumb bitch. You know why I was there. It was there because of Constance. Someone else suggested the channel to me. How disgusting. You're so like reaching for shit. You're like grabbing for shit to say.
I'm observant and I got tons of people that back.
You're observant and you're out of your goddamn mind and you can't wait to find something to gossip about. And when you don't have anything, you make shit up like this.
There's plenty to talk about. There's plenty of screenshots of you wanting to fuck.
Yeah, plenty of screenshots because you're fucking crazy.
I'm not crazy. I didn't take the screenshots. They were shared with me from your boyfriends on the internet. Like, this isn't something that I just manufactured. Like, you did this to yourself.
Is this another thing. Is this a common thing? Like, women like preying on like fucking gullible men and shit.
On the fucking internet.
Did I ask any of these people for money? Did I?
They both came in at the same time and they both did it to multiple guys.
What does that have to do? I don't even know that girl. I have nothing to do with her. She was shut up, fat bitch. She was gone for a long time and I stayed. I was still there. And there were people telling you to shut the fuck up and because you were lying about me before that guy ever came along, and they said they were with Constance on this. I've saw people saying that to you. You were trying to get people to hate me. You were trying to get people pissed off at me because you're fucking jealous.
Jealous of what?
Because you look like you got fucking Down syndrome and you're fucking fat ass and you don't know who your kid's daddy is. Why don't you tell these motherfuckers you don't even know who your kid's dad is? You want to tell me that I'm messing with men and you don't know who your baby daddy is? I mean, come the fuck on, cunt.
Phoebe's
Damn.
I actually don't know what Rusted Soul looks like, so I don't want to comment on that. But
brutal.
Beautiful.
She looks like somebody.
I do actually know who my baby daddy is.
What did you get some paternity test? You figured it out?
Rusted Soul, are we allowed to see your face? Can you turn the camera on or?
But,
oh come on, I can't wait.
Nobody than have 10 guys fucking on my jock.
I don't think she can hear me still.
I'm spending time with my kid. Like you spend all fucking day.
So let's say let's make up a number. Let's say I had 15 boyfriends.
How come neither of you bitches are showing your faces?
Zero. I haven't dated in 2 years, and
I can't at the moment. So what, you feel like some kind of saint now?
How come neither of you bitches are showing your face?
Maybe you guys have got more in common.
That's pathetic right there. That's what you just said.
Yeah, maybe you've got more in common than you think.
That's pathetic desperation.
Yeah.
Damn it,
telling me I don't give a shit about my kids because I was
dude, like the amount of guys that I've
there is no amount of guys. There is none.
The amount of time I've seen you on the internet, like compared to
at 2 o'clock in the morning when my kids are sleeping? Most of the time I didn't even get there until they were in bed.
All day.
All day? You mean like you? You mean like you? How did you see me all day if you weren't there all day, dumbass?
I see other people sharing
you're so
stuff
fit.
like, oh, she's live again. Look at how upset you are.
You're such a dumbass. Listen to you criticizing me for the shit you do.
Show your faces.
Because I go live all day and ask for money from guys, and
I don't ask anybody for money. Where do you ask me for money?
Yeah, you do.
Where?
In your fucking PayPal. You just said it. You have it linked in your fucking.
But that could be women as well. That could be guys and women. It could be anybody.
Yeah, but I don't sit there talking about it. I don't even bring it up. I don't talk about my PayPal shit. I put a link in my description. I put a link in my description. If somebody wants to donate, they can donate. If they don't, that's fine. I don't ask.
Is this where they're getting a scam from? The fact that you've got PayPal? Is this
I guess.
No, the scam was the GoFund or I think it was a GoFundMe. Yeah, that she said that somebody forced her to start.
I never said someone forced me.
Yeah, you did. You said, so my friend I have the screenshot.
I didn't say they forced me.
You were in Sean G's chat and somebody called you out on it and said, why are you lying? And you said, oh, well, it's somebody made me start.
Why don't you quit flapping your fat lip so I can actually say what it was about?
And they said it's still going because fucking Kakes. I'm so fucking done with this. Like, people will see if they want to see.
So, Eyestosee, it looks like you started a GoFundMe.
Yes,
got what you
had
needed.
a GoFundMe. Actually, I did not advertise my GoFundMe, and I wrote it up, and I wasn't even gonna. I was like really conflicted in my mind, like because I didn't have a ton of subs. I had, I don't know, maybe a few hundred at that point, maybe 400. I really wanted to do this because of the arguments I was having with trolls, like coming at me with bullshit Glober stuff that like the questions they would ask me to try to confuse people. I hate the kind of.
I've got more respect for somebody that says I started a GoFundMe because it's an easy way to make cash.
Well, hang on. Let me tell you what I did. So I wrote up the GoFundMe, and I really was conflicted about it. I wasn't sure if I wanted to even use it. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So I sent it to my friend Travis, who has a channel. I'm like, can you proofread this? Because I'm still thinking about it. I'm not sure what I want to do yet. And he went and showed it to other people and had the donations in my GoFundMe before. Oh, no, I'm not talking. That's the sociopath. Okay.
Who's this?
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going?
How's everybody doing?
That's Mr. Creektastic right there.
Is that the husband?
Hello, Mr.
No, that's the creep that likes to dox people. The one that sits around fussing about me all
Please
day.
don't dox
What's
me.
up, guys?
I'm nice.
I'm actually a fan of GED. He was in Kenny the other
you guys
night.
Have fun with that. Bye.
Oh, why
Do you
don't you
share
stick
your
around?
side, Riggs?
Oh, I just wanted to know if she really wanted to go down this path because out of courtesy, I haven't released anything that people really should know because she exited the building. But now that she's not, not on YouTube, I was just going to be really nice and just let it go. But I mean, if she wants to put on this face and pretend like she had no part, that's kind of disingenuous.
Did she ever try to scam you?
That's what I was going to say. Did you get any money off her?
She would scam some people, but then she would just use some people. It seems like as long as it involved some sort of a facet, which didn't include truth, she would go down that path. And she would intentionally try to make you mad so that
what are you talking about?
She could control you.
So I scammed people how? Did I ever ask you for money? Did I? Did I ask you for money?
No, I didn't say you asked me for money. I've actually never claimed that. So
how am I scamming? You tell people I'm a scammer.
We actually had this discussion. I'm happy to release those logs too.
Listen,
how deeply were you two involved?
How weird! What a fucking weirdo!
Riggs and wait. Riggs and Eyestosee, how closely were you guys involved?
So, would you want to hear my side, or do you want me to get interrupted?
What I'm not understanding. Okay, people have relationships with each other, and they go good or they go bad.
That's my answer.
Why in the world does the public? Why does the public need
just
to
go ahead and answer for me, Danny? Hey, look, I only came on
from
here.
my point of view. What went wrong from my point of view is he was belittling me. He was telling me that I created my own problems and I was never going to fix them. He didn't like who my friends were and wasn't sure if he could continue talking to me because of who my friends were. He thought they were gross.
Like, a reasonable person given the circumstances. But regardless, you're also leaving out a lot of context. So I'm only on here.
You send people messages that I sent you, but you don't tell anybody what you said. You don't.
I'm happy to say everything that I said.
Let's let Riggs talk. I'm happy to say anything I said.
But honestly, the only reason I'm on here is to see if you actually want to go down this path. Because it's not.
No, I want to be left alone. I want to be left alone. But you told me you weren't going to leave me alone.
Danny. This is my recommendation.
You told me
in this truth community for a long time.
You're going to shut me up now because you don't want people to hear what you said. You told me you weren't going to leave me alone.
What you're doing and how you're doing it, and it's not going to be me who stops you. Okay,
Danny, you look really guilty right now.
There's a lot of people who don't like the way you're going about things, and it's not working out for you. Okay, so this is not like me threatening you or anything, but this is me telling you that I've looked at all of the puzzle pieces, and if you want to continue down this path,
that's how paranoid people talk. The pieces of the puzzle.
Why don't you just tell us outright? Fuck the puzzle. What are the pieces of the puzzle? What is it?
No, I mean, the thing is, I've been in this for a long time. I've been talking to Danny for, I guess, maybe 6-7 months now. And I have a huge portion of this puzzle because at first I rejected her. I was not seeking her attention. I was not. God. Okay, look, I'm not trying to like dock you, okay? But I didn't want her attention because I found out that she was first she was separated, then suddenly she was married and sleeping on the couch, then suddenly she has 4 kids and they're with 2 different husbands, and then suddenly she has these narcolepsy issues, these health problems, and then suddenly she's taking all these drugs that she didn't used to take, but she says she didn't used to take. And then it's just on and on and on. It's this whole train wreck of a story that just gets worse.
How is it a train wreck?
I missed the call of that. My headset died.
Yes, I have narcolepsy, and it wasn't properly diagnosed. Well, it takes an average of 10 years for someone with narcolepsy to get a proper diagnosis.
Okay, but as a man who doesn't know you that well, I'm allowed to make that decision.
Sure, but you were the one that wouldn't leave me alone. Oh my God! What a creep!
Oh my gosh! Look, all I'm saying is, do you really want to go this path?
No, I want you to leave me the hell alone. It's none of anybody's business went wrong between me and you. I'm not out there trying to tell people this shit.
Look, what I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. Okay?
Did you guys ever meet in real life?
No.
Even if, please just hear me. Even if I exit completely from your life and have nothing to do with this, you're going to have problems.
Okay, let me have my problems. Why is that any of your business?
I do let you have your problems. That's why I'm saying, like, if you want to continue this presence on YouTube, like that's a challenge that you choose for yourself.
Why does that matter to you? That's what I'm not understanding
because
here.
I happen to know what kind of no good you're up to. I particularly know what kind of no good you're up to.
What is that no good?
Yeah, tell us.
Tell us.
Please enlighten everyone.
This isn't a place for passive aggressiveness. This is a place for aggressiveness.
This is Team GSD. We get shit done here. Okay.
Yeah. Well, there's actually not enough time to go through all of the details.
That's how people with narcissistic personality disorder work. And he has it very bad. And I saw the red flag.
If you tell me that the earth is flat and I say, well, prove it. Sometimes you have to spend a few hours and do the research. Now, I'm happy to show everything that I have, but you just told me you want me out of your life. Okay?
I would like you to leave me the hell alone.
Well, I do leave you the hell alone. Actually, I haven't talked to you in weeks.
No, but you're going around YouTube and Discord. You must vindicate yourself.
I'm not.
Really?
Actually, I'm not. And
you
guess
told
what?
me
There's a lot of people. No, I was at first for a good couple days. I was upset that you were lying to so many different people and that I had a huge piece of the puzzle on how exactly you went. Oh, man. Let's see. You lied about a plain truth. You lied about U9000. You lied about cigar. You lied about me. You lied about your husband.
Cigar face. What are you talking about?
The story goes on. Let's see. We got.
He was my
Ace.
friend.
We got Ace McCloud. We got what's his name? I could go down a whole list. Do you really want to go down the whole
and you know
list?
what your list says? You even told my husband, you fucking creep, that I was going after Danny D, and this was the best part. Oh, I loved it.
Actually, I didn't do that. I didn't do that, but I'm glad you brought up Danny D because I have quotes of you saying that you involved Danny D in a role-playing foursome on your chat.
It was a joke. We were in someone else's
it was
chat,
a joke.
and me
Why
and
would you say that? Why would you say that and say that you actually wasn't for the men?
Because
it was for you?
Danny was there, and it was funny. It was an inside joke.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Danny D is also the name of a porn star, and a lot of the people in your chat, you told me, come from this furry Second Life community from a couple.
I don't know
like 20 years ago, and they're still around. You still hang around with them.
No,
so
I
you
didn't
have
say
this.
that.
I got the quotes, man.
Is that why you wear the hat?
You said your first relationship was with an older man when you were 23 from these Second Life chat rooms that you pretend to have, real relationships with all these different people. You brought that community to the truth community, and now that's getting exposed. Okay, you got a big problem there because a lot of those people still exist.
If I was a furry, what the fuck difference would that make anyway?
It's weird.
It really doesn't. But
I don't think that was my point.
Wouldn't I have?
I think that was your point,
channel?
Danny.
Wouldn't I have a channel? And you know what? People hate my hat that I wear, but my kids love it, and other people.
I don't really care about your hat. Your little boyfriends can think about their hat, whatever you think. But why don't you tell me what Debbie Does Dallas is? Is that a pornography film? Is that a porn star? Is that somebody you try to mimic when you turn your camera on? For all these these dripping mouth men who don't see real women on their chat.
Riggs, are you one of those men? Riggs, are you one of those men?
Because actually, no. One of them men.
See, no. Here's the thing, validation boy.
He likes to turn his camera on because he loves
Danny. It's not working out for you. Shut up, Danny. Here's the thing. I didn't pay attention to YouTube until this bullshit happened. When one of her boyfriends came up to me. I'm not talking to you, Danny. One of her boyfriends came to my Discord and said, "Hey, are you her boyfriend?" And I was like, dude, she's been telling me she loves me like over and over and over again. She wants to have my babies. She tells me when she's ovulating. She wanted me to knock her up on New Year's.
No, that was
you. With her husband in the other room and shit.
Oh my God.
I got stories I got stories all day, hon.
Are you
don't have a chance. You are so fucking cooked.
Yes, you have lots of stories. They sound really exciting.
Can you show us your face? Can we see your face?
I actually tried it. I calibrated my camera, but it didn't work on this StreamYard for some reason.
That's a shame. I wanted to see if you had
I click it and it just doesn't work, and then it mutes my mic.
He has definitely let himself go recently.
I wish you guys could be a little bit more credible.
I'm not calling you out for being a 200-pound fat bitch. See, I'm not calling you out for that. All right, I'm not calling you out for having a bunch of kids. I'm not calling you out for being married.
How is having children?
I gave you a chance for over 7 months to
I didn't want a chance with you.
I gave you a chance. Okay, I gave you a chance. You are the one who fucked up. And I rejected you then.
Yeah,
I rejected you along the way.
To go away,
and then I'm rejecting you now. So
won't go away.
Get the fuck off it. And you don't even have to lie, man.
Won't go away.
You don't even have to lie anymore. Just get over it. Get over it.
Are you jealous, Riggs? Are you jealous of other men?
Absolutely not. I find despicable the kind of person this is after I found out who she is. And I think people need to know because she goes around in her chat rooms basically like selling sex on her chat. Everybody's talking about sex shit in her chat. She's getting donations from people who are Christian. She pretends that she's Christian just to get donations. She'll like have all these intimate DM relationships with people to deepen that, deepen that scoop. And I don't know what all happens behind closed doors, but you know what? She's told me. I found out that she used to scam people from chat rooms, get money from men on chat rooms. This goes back, man. She's been on the internet for decades. This is her new platform to scam this platform.
Wow.
And I'm not going to let that happen, man. I'm just not. I know enough about you that other people can see who you are, and they ain't going to put it up with it either.
No, he can't because people have asked him.
She has these many facets. Can you prove that?
Not on this platform.
People have asked him for proof, and he stops talking when they ask him to show him because he'll say shit like this. And they're like, okay, can you prove it? And
we know you're not 200 pounds.
I prove enough.
No,
I prove enough to show that I have proof.
Who cares? You're a creep.
So proof isn't enough then? Okay.
How do we know that Riggs is not just your husband and the two of you are scamming all of us for attention?
Yeah, he was actually trying to.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great idea, validation boy. Why don't you bring your husband on so we can have a conversation and see what your husband knows? Because I know he doesn't know shit.
Okay. Hey, Ronnie.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Bring him on.
Yeah.
Do this.
Riggs thinks that I didn't tell you anything. Let me get.
What do you want me to say?
Okay.
Well, she
Go
seems
ahead.
pretty open with her husband. Husband's
Here's my
standing there,
husband
Riggs.
standing here with me. What would you like to say to him that I have not already told him?
I have
Bring
nothing
it.
to say to him.
Oh, now you have nothing to say because he's standing here and you can't run your fucking mouth.
Well, let's see. How long does this go back? Does he know about your relationships from before your marriage?
What the hell difference would that make?
Because they're still around and you're still fooling around with them in the chat rooms and you're involving other people in it.
No, the only person that has come to my chat rooms that I know from before my husband is my best friend from high school who lives in Germany, whose wife is pregnant and about to have a baby, and I was going to go visit
Wait,
them.
is this the sanitized version? Because I got shit against that.
Who's benefiting from all this? Who benefits from all this? Are you? Is
Nobody.
Your view count up right now, Danny? Is your view count up because of all this?
No, it's not. I actually disabled my channel because of what he's doing. I wanted to
because of what I'm doing.
Yes,
see
the
how this,
only way
see how
to get rid of a sociopath. The only way to get rid of a sociopath is to bore them when they behave like this. Is to get. You have to be boring to them, or they'll never leave you alone.
But he says that he rejected you
more than once.
Whatever.
I gave her chances.
You think you gave me chances because you're an egotistic.
Okay. You know what? You know what?
You're
from
really
even
gross.
Even
just
from a few, I'm gross. From a few weeks ago. Oh, I love you. I love you. I got that too.
You want to tell people the context of that conversation? The context of that conversation
you
was
coming to me out of nowhere telling me you
me.
love me?
Yes.
Okay.
No, that was not the
context. What kind of context do I need?
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that means one thing. What's the context of telling me when you're ovulating, huh? What's the context?
You can't love. Tell them.
Why don't you tell your husband? Hey, what's his name? Ronald?
Yeah.
Here, Ronald.
Yeah, I'm right here.
She wants to have children with other men. Actually, she's shopping around on the internet.
Actually, that's the reason I told you I didn't think we should be together, because I really don't want to have any more children, and you want children and you have none.
Yeah, and I said that was fine, and I stopped talking.
Why are you talking about your ovulation cycle?
Kept coming back.
Because during my ovulation cycle, one of two things happens. Either I'm like enjoying having webcam conversations with a hot guy on the internet.
You want to read this? I can read this out.
And you know what? It's none of anybody's business if I'm. Yeah, I was on the webcam. I didn't take my clothes off. No one has nude photos of me. I've never taken my clothes off on the camera.
Oh, sure. Well, that's unfortunate.
You sure did like to wave your penis around, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm not ashamed. Actually, you can post it right now. I probably make more friends.
No, I'm not a creep, so I didn't save any screenshots of your dick.
Is your husband a cuck?
My husband is standing right here next to me.
Is he a cuck?
No, he is sorry that he did what he did to me. I faced years of rejection from him. We went to marriage counseling and it didn't work. And
Does he get off on you masturbating in front of other men on camera?
No, I do not.
No, it actually.
Why do you live with her?
Because what I'm telling you.
How could you put up with that, though?
This one time she was on webcam going to town on herself. The husband walked in and kept accusing her of doing something with Travis, but then accidentally left the webcam running. Then what happened next was pretty funny. I filmed it, but I have deleted the video off my phone. Maybe it's in the cloud.
Oh, why did you?
I was just filming the screen, trying not to laugh, which was hard because I do have proof it happened 100%, and this is not even the whole story. I've never seen anything like it. She was absolutely insane.
My husband has something he would like to say. Oh, why don't you tell them about you jacking off in the car while you were an Uber driver?
Yeah, I jacked off in my car because she was doing it with me.
All right, look, I really don't care. I just want this guy to leave her alone, and the other guy to leave her alone.
I don't get involved. She's the one coming on here, spreading her reputation.
There are YouTube accounts with like her name and my name on them.
Guess what? That's her fault. It has nothing to do with me. She is on here fucking up. So you should blame her about the problems that she brings, brother.
I wonder if Danny's husband thinks that he can really work. I wonder if Danny's husband thinks that it's even worth working anything out with her if she's going to behave like this.
I love my wife to death. She's an amazing person.
When someone says they love someone to death, what that means is they don't give a shit. They hate that person. That's what that's.
How do you? Are you a licensed psychologist? Do you have the authority to say that?
That's an old tradition.
You know what, Ronald? I have to say something to you, man. The only reason that I would even go through with making videos, because I have enough content, okay, is so that for your legal proceedings that you win. That's the only reason.
I mean, I can say right now, I'm not concerned with any of that. We've been together for a long time. I love her. I love her a lot. I've made a ton of mistakes. I've been an asshole, and I am an asshole. But I'm ready to move forward with all that and move on.
Okay,
so
then get her off the fucking internet and stop causing drama for your family. Sounds like a good idea.
Can you think you can trust her after
this? Sounds like a good guy. Sounds like a nice guy.
Yeah. If I didn't think I could trust her, we wouldn't be together anymore.
Can she trust you?
I don't know. Can you trust me?
Yes, I can trust him. He's never cheated on me. I honestly believe he's never cheated on me.
Y'all's relationship is so scarred up right now with scar tissue.
It is, and there's other things. We had a lot of trauma happen. We had my friend moved in with us, and she had issues with losing her children. And
did he flip her? Did your husband?
No, he did not. She was an older woman. It was a lady from work, and I was friends with her for years. And her youngest child grew up with my child, like since they were 3, they were friends. And she was almost going to lose them because of some like money trouble and all kinds of problems she was having. And she asked her husband she asked her brother if her kids could stay with him for a couple weeks while she got her shit together. And her family like went and did this like CPS shit on her and got custody taken away from her for a while. So we let her move in with us so she could have a stable place and get her kids back. Her kids lived with us for a really long time. It was like they were part of our family. I mean, they lived with us for a really long time.
Anyways, nobody really cares about that.
Okay,
that's not why we're here.
Anyway,
we're not going to feel sorry for you for the shit you're doing. We don't give a fuck.
Let me finish talking, dumbass. Anyway,
Danny, you're so worked up by this guy.
I am because something really bad happened.
You know what you should do? You should reopen your channel and make a video so everyone can feel sorry about your sorry ass story.
You're so jacked up.
Maybe you'll get some more donations from John Lloyd.
Shut up when I'm talking.
You have so much emotion towards Riggs. What can you say? It's obvious that you still have.
Because she still loves me.
What can I say?
And her husband don't give a shit.
I told you I love you, and I meant it, but not like I wanted to be with you. I didn't say I wanted to be with you.
How can you love someone on YouTube?
I love him as a friend, and
with your husband in the room.
Talked to him for a long time.
Yeah, with your husband. Love that ovulation friend.
Standing here next to me, he knows this. Can I finish what I was saying?
No, because you're fucking retarded, Danny. We're done. We're done with you, man. Nobody wants to hear your bullshit. We're not going to feel sorry for you. Okay, you're causing these problems, and your husband has to suffer. He's been fucking tortured the last 12 years because you think this is acceptable fucking behavior. It's not. Nobody accepts this kind of behavior. Okay, and you've gaslit him into this fucking corner where he has no choice because you're actually psycho enough to convince people in the courtroom that maybe you deserve those kids. And that's why I thought maybe if I put this evidence forward, he could be protected in that scenario. That's it.
Let her talk.
Can I finish, please? Anyway, my children got really attached to her kids. I mean, we actually offered to adopt her children so they wouldn't have to be taken really far away from her.
Yeah.
We loved them that much. They had been part of our family. Well, her son turned 18. He moved out in with his girlfriend, and a month later, he died of a heroin overdose.
I'm going to put the donation link in the chat, guys. She's doing it right now.
Put
the donation link in the chat.
I didn't ask
sorry for Danny.
Money. I didn't ask anybody for money. I'm telling you the trauma that my family has been through.
Did someone die there? I missed that. I was looking at
the kid that lived with us died of a heroin overdose a month after he moved out. That affected our family pretty hard. We went through a lot of shit. And then I was pregnant with my son, and he had an umbilical aneurysm. There was less than 100 cases of that ever recorded. We didn't know if he was going to survive birth, and I had to be induced early.
You know what actually solves that?
And then my baby solved for 2 weeks. I've never told anybody this on YouTube. I'm not fucking making up sob stories, you fucking creep.
Did you know that Louisville, Kentucky is a capital for child trafficking and GHB is used to diddle little kids? Maybe you had something to know about that. Did you know about that? Because a lot of parts of your story are starting to match up with the research that we're doing in the background, okay? So if you want to get off YouTube, maybe it won't cause more problems for you, is all I'm saying. But it's not going to be from me. It's not going to be from me. People are real pissed off at you.
Nobody's pissed off at me. You are.
I have a 3-point question. Okay, so how long have you been on YouTube, Danny?
I don't know, maybe I'm not sure, 3 years, 2 or 3 years.
And is this the first instance of craziness that you've?
Yes, I've been on here for years.
Because, okay.
So what happened to your last channel?
Hold on.
It's the same channel.
Let's let Kakes. Let's let Kakes.
So we meet a lot of like batshit crazy women, and that's not me saying that you are, but we seem to find a lot of women who drama just seems to fucking follow them, and like there seems to be arguments all the time. Like that doesn't happen with me. I don't give, as far as I'm concerned, like I don't give anybody any reason. I don't give anybody any reason to like create drama around me. Like what you guys see is what you get. I'm not fake. I'm not phony. You know, you guys can hear my boyfriend in the background. I can poke him. There we go. He's been poked.
Yeah, and if you go to my channel and watch my videos, there's none of that in there. I don't have that kind of shit going on. My channel's not about drama. I don't have drama.
Her channel's about she aggressively approaches women. She aggressively approaches men. Basically gets them on a leash, and then everyone's just trying to be nice to each other so that they get to be the chosen one. And privately in the DMs, they're all the chosen one, and that's where the donations start coming.
So my question is if you don't create any drama, how is the drama around you? Because there's no.
And she doesn't create any content either. She's always using someone else's content.
Cakes is still talking. It's Cakes' time. She sat here quietly. She's now very, very drunk. Okay.
Go ahead, Cakes.
Hence why she can't say drunk properly. Thank you, VB, my man. So my question is that if you don't do anything to aggravate any kind of arguments and shit, why is it that we've been sitting here talking for an hour and 20 minutes, maybe ish, about you? Like
that person.
I don't get it.
That's what I'm saying. Who benefits out of this?
Yeah, I don't get this. I don't understand. And it seems like over such a very, very trivial thing. Like it's that kind of thing where, okay, so you think this thing and I think this thing, so let's just go. Like if somebody wants to make a video about me, awesome. VB did it and I fucking loved it. The first 5 minutes he was talking about me and I was lying in bed with the boyfriend and like VB didn't really like me. And I was like, look, VB's talking about me. Yeah!
You're right. You know what? You're right.
Like, why aren't you being like that? It's fucking airtime. It's YouTube. You are a creator. It doesn't matter. Like, yay. People are talking battle.
We're feeding a female's attention. We're feeding a female's endless black hole of attention that can never be satisfied right now. We are doing that.
I didn't have any of this drama until this person came along.
This person. The guy, one of the guys who actually put the pieces together and actually wasn't sucking your dick. Yeah, exactly. This guy.
This person right here is the cause of the drama, and he won't disappear.
Right. So I'm the cause of the Rusted Soul drama. I'm the cause of you being a Nazi and causing other problems in other communities. I'm the cause of all of your past dramas. I'm the cause of you being on Second Life doing furry shit with 20 people and bringing them in your chat rooms, having sex with people who don't even realize they're doing cat shit with you. I'm the problem. I'm the problem. You are so fucking cooked. I'm out of here.
Good.
Donations in the chat.
Thank you. Finally.
Donations in the chat.
If my channel was about furries or Second Life, I mean, then you would see furries in Second Life. I'm not a furry. I don't.
Danny, how do you feel about all of this being said about you and everyone diving so deep up into your sex life?
Now I kind of want to delete my channel again. I reinstated it today because Saturday is movie night and I was going to play a movie tonight. I really missed that. I wanted to make sure I got here for that. And now I just want to shut it back down. I'm not trying to get attention. I'm not a drama channel. I'm a flat earth channel that has kind of evolved. My religious views have evolved. I was a Christian. I still kind of I'm not sure. Like now that I've learned about the angelic particle matrix stuff, I'm not sure how I feel about the Bible. And I'm not sure if it's just Christian or if it's actually a blueprint of the universe, kind of celestial type stuff. And I'm internally really conflicted about that. I still do. I have what is that?
It's like a porno. It's like a B-grade horror movie or something.
Oh yeah. So I played a sci-fi movie this one night, maybe 6 months ago, because I noticed a lot of predictive programming in it. And that's it was all the flat earth predictive programming stuff. And I thought it was great. And people were like, yeah, this is awesome. Let's do this again. So I played another one a week later, and it kind of became a thing. And so every Saturday I played movies. Well, since
hold up. Ultimate TV 9000 is in here. I've built that up much higher than I needed to. I'm sorry.
Have we even spoke to that person tonight? Yeah.
No, we haven't.
Yeah. All right.
It's getting very warm in here.
I was going to say, Danny,
hang on. I'm not sure that's really him because I just talked to him earlier.
I come to quite a lot.
Jed, speak up. What were you going to say?
I was going to say to Danny about our movies. She shows movies on her channel, and if I remember rightly, like, is it 70-year like copyright on movies, and they become public domain, or is it 100 years or some shit like that?
Well,
like, how do you get away with copyright strike on YouTube, like with whole movies?
You can, if you go to archive.org, they have a whole archive of like public domain movies, but you still have to be careful. What I do is I go to copyright.gov. I don't know. I don't know what that movie is. I go to copyright.gov and I look up the movies first. But sometimes even then, like the musical score can be copyrighted, so you'll still get like a soft strike, but it'll still let you play it.
I've noticed with books, when you read a book, like you can read a whole book as long as like it's 70 years old. I think the copyright runs out on a book. In Britain, anyway, with the
laws. Like movie copyright stuff has been changed quite a few times. But I mean, you know what? I would like my personal life to be left out of YouTube. That's why like people don't know a lot about me unless they ask. Like if somebody asks me questions,
you put it out there. You put it out there. How would it have infiltrated?
Thing is that every time I've been around Danny's channel, it seems quite innocent to me. Like when I've been in the chat, no one's talking about sex and shit like that, and it seems quite innocent. I don't know what
where did all this come from?
I know
that person it struck his ego when he found out that I was talking to another guy, but I had to like back away from him slowly because he was telling me, he was saying shit to me that was like that whole. I mean, when you've dealt with a narcissist, you kind of see the red flag. You kind of see their behaviors and the patterns, and you can kind of tell who's going to be one after they start doing certain. He had the whole like love bombing phase, got me really comfortable, and I really did feel like, oh my God, like I could be with this person. I hadn't ever met him, and I mean, a lot of like our personal like grown up conversations. I'm not going to go tell people. That's none of anybody's business. Am I the only person here that's ever had sex? Really? Are we really that?
That's what's making you look like you're the narcissistic sociopath. He just painted a really vivid picture of you behind the scenes to make you look.
Did you notice that every time I tried to talk, he talked over me to make sure I couldn't say anything to you guys?
Yeah, but you
it's difficult because you did. You did the same. Sorry, BB.
You know, honestly, I think once you get to know me and you've talked to me, and if you come to my channel, if you like it, great. If you don't like me, you don't have to come to my channel. Like I'm not on there.
All this drama seems to come from your side things, like your Discord and your Twitter, your Instagram, or whatever the fuck thing you're doing.
I deleted my Discord account. I don't have any other social media. I have my own like Facebook thing, but it's mostly just my family members and like old high school friends. I've added a few flat earthers, but I've been really like, I don't use it a whole lot. I've been like really reserved on there. Like I want that to be separate. Like I would prefer my personal, you know, family stuff. I just want to expose the whole fucking fake virus shit, and flat earth is really taking a back seat to what's going on right now for me. Like I feel like trying to convince someone that the earth is flat means nothing in comparison to them wanting to genocide people with a vaccine for something. You know, like that's what I'm worried about right now. Like why the hell is someone so focused on a failed relationship? Why does he have to go to other channels and sit there and email people all day long, obsessing over how shit you know what? Fine. What if I did have 50 boyfriends and cheated on you? I don't have any boyfriends. I changed my husband like broke down, begged me to change my mind, and I wasn't in it. I still didn't feel it. I still felt awkwardness because we had not slept in the same bed or had marital relations in a long time. And it got to be like roommates. You know what? But
you'll never respect your husband again. You will never respect your husband again. So it's pointless to try to get back with him.
You know what? This is what went through my mind.
Will. He's on his knees begging you. That's not a man. That's not what a man does. Well, you're never going to respect him again.
A man would have told you to fuck off a long time ago, like in my eyes.
No, I never talked to another guy until like just last year.
Doesn't matter if your man's at a point. None of that matters if you talk to guys or not. If your man is on the ground begging you, you're never going to respect him being a woman. You're never going to respect that man. So you should stop dragging him along. You should let him go. And you shouldn't. Well, okay, unless it's a matter of he doesn't want to do it because he doesn't want to pay child support because you have a plan to parasite off of child support.
No, there's nothing like that occurring. This is what happened. I got to the point where I could have moved out. I was ready. I could have made that decision. I had, like I had kind of figured out where I was going to go, my finances and everything. And I realized like, okay, and I wasn't romantically involved with that guy anymore. I didn't have any I didn't ever want another guy to sway my decision in any way because I have kids. Like I want my decision to be based on what I think the future is going to be here. So it got to the point where I could have gone and I just kept feeling like I'm going to miss him. And that means something. Like if I'm going to miss him, if I'm not sure, and I'm going to sit in my apartment and cry because I miss my husband who's asking me to forgive him, maybe I shouldn't move out. We have kids and he loves me. He's proving to me. I mean, he has been
but
day after
he's
day
doing
after
this.
day.
But
right,
you have kids. He's doing this. How do you feel?
I wake
you
up
don't
in the
care
morning.
about him.
Hang on though. So you two broke up, you stayed in the same house, and then you started seeing other guys, but somehow he's the one that's begging for forgiveness. Little quick story time with Cake. So I was once with a guy, and we broke up. Well, I broke up with him because honestly he was pathetic. And he started crying on the phone, telling me he's going to kill himself and all of this. And I had like VB's just said, I had absolutely zero respect for him. Zero respect for him. Do I have respect for Dan? Because if Dan wants something, Dan fucking takes it. Dan fucking does it. Like Dan, like he's a good egg,
No, but I had like zero at first.
So I don't understand how you're.
Her ego
whether you were
won't let
broken
her
up.
get rid of her little slave boy that she's got manipulated there in her house.
What's going on here, though? And I did feel like that at first. Poor guy. Listen. I wake up in the morning and there's a letter. He writes me a letter almost every night. He sends me like memes.
How fucking tender. How fucking tender and sweet.
All
you
the
love
shit
that,
that
don't
he
you?
didn't
You
do.
hate
No,
it.
it drives me insane. It's
You're
weird.
disgusted by it.
I am a little bit, yeah. But
the sweetest thing
He's
I get off Dan
is
sitting on the chair and him dipping his balls on my head. That is the sweetest thing I get off Dan. I'm sitting there playing my Xbox, and then all of a sudden his testicles are on my head. Like, come on,
right. You take it like a good
oh my god! So I'm like sitting in my chair, and he taps on my shoulder, and I turn my head, and his ass is in my face. Like, what the hell are you doing? I'm
love
right
it.
there with you.
You can do that shit. You're comfortable. You're in a comfortable relationship.
Yeah, when he could just stand on his chair and plop his balls on my head. The other day, we were clearing the bedroom, right?
What the matter is?
So we're cleaning the bedroom the other day, yeah, and I started to fall off the bed, and my head went between Dan's legs. So obviously Dan's instant reaction was to pull his trousers down and just flop his dick and balls on my face. That is like Dan's obvious go-to move. It's not to
it's
save
only
me,
natural.
not to help me, but it's to put his dick on my face.
I mean, the root of the rejection that I faced with him, he had a major addiction to video games and his phone and just like anything that was, his face was in a screen. And it was like, I couldn't get his
And not
head.
on you.
Not me.
That it was not on you.
It wasn't at me at all. And I begged him for years. I'm like, please put the phone down.
And here's the thing: the reason he never gave in, the reason that you stuck around is because he never gave in and was like, "Nah, I'd rather do this." And you're like, "Oh, me," and you were never satisfied, and that's why you.
No, I mean, I can't tell you how many nights standing in my bedroom doorway, years crying, like, why don't you just? I'm real and I'm right here, please.
Yeah, and he rejected you, and rightfully so, and that's why you stuck around for all these fucking years because he had you trained like a good dog.
So how can you respect that? But how can you respect that? If I close this video down right now, and if I took my clothes off right now, Dan's in the middle of, I don't even know what Dan's doing. I can't see his screen. But if I took my clothes off right now, he would take me on that fucking oven right this second. Like I can get my man's attention straight away. Like I don't understand how you can respect that.
That's lack of self-control on your man's behalf.
I can't.
Who could deny this?
It's empowering when you can.
I don't think I would have any trouble if I did that. If I took my clothes off and like the kids weren't standing in here right now, would you have any trouble bending me over the kitchen table?
Oh my God!
Don't speak like that in front of your kids. Come on,
They
man.
can't hear me. They all went in the other room.
All right.
So this is what I was talking about.
I mean, I get what you guys are saying. I get it. I feel what you're saying. And I do have, there is still this lingering awkwardness. But if we both want to try to work it out, what is wrong with that? If both of us actually have our heart in it to try, shouldn't we at least try? I mean,
maybe if you get your arse off the internet, you start like not taking for granted his company and.
No, I've actually been spending we've been spending a lot of time together. And something we hadn't done before, and just sitting and talking, and we actually laid in the bed and we were like, you know, doing the whole cuddle thing, and we just both started crying, and it's like.
But all you're going to do is meet a new guy. At first it'll be good, the lust will be good. You go through the honeymoon period of the sex being good, and then eventually it'll just.
I don't want to meet a new guy, so that's the thing. I'm not.
The new guy sitting on the phone, looking at the phone, staring at the phone. You nagging him. Why are you on your phone, or why are you on the PlayStation? It's like. Well, you need to be happy with what you've got. You've made your bed. Now fucking lie in it. You've got 4 kids to this guy.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to lie in that bed. You know, we're trying to do this.
All this little give and take and little games.
You'd be on the internet all the time, asking for money and get attention for guys, and then you're giving off the wrong impression. Just be nice to somebody on the internet gives them the wrong impression, and they think you're coming on to them. And if you're fucking nice to them.
Here's the thing, guys.
I mean, how is that my fault? Like, I be mean? Like,
Danny, obviously, what's happening here? I'm not trying to be a jerk to you, but I'm just being honest here. I'm kind of profiling all of the evidence at the same time, and it seems like all this give and take that you're doing with your husband, it's just basically a game, and you just want complete tyrannical control, the way that the government wants control on putting us on COVID lockdowns.
I don't know. What do you mean?
And no, it's all a game, because you're saying, I don't want other guys, but you're using other men giving you attention to have leverage against your husband. It's all one big, massive.
I wasn't using it for leverage against my husband. I did want attention, but I don't.
No, it does. It's like when I said that, you know, you guys were on a break. You're talking to other guys, and then all of a sudden he's apologizing. It's like you have him exactly where you want him. I don't like, he's a pathetic mess right now. He's not a man, you know?
Okay, I do have him exactly where I want him. If I have the husband that is already, you know, that I wanted to be my husband, and I did feel like I didn't want to leave. I felt like there was still something lingering in me. If he is trying to, he's been going to therapy and stuff, like he has this, you know, block against, he doesn't like to face problems. Like his family, like they just shut each other out when they're having like an issue. They don't talk about emotional stuff. So it's like a wall. It's like talking to a wall. And he was raised that way. And so when I had, you know, wanted to bring something up, I got a wall. And, you know, it didn't work out. It's not going to work to have that wall. And I built up a wall against him. And that's how I was able to even talk to other men. And don't
you think that when people say they've built up a wall, it's just mumbo jumbo for I'm really not that interested? Because I've used that before. I've used that, I have so many walls that you need to break down. And really in my head, I was just like, honestly, mate, I just want to fuck you and then go. You know, like honestly, that was what was in my head. I think you've trained.
It's YouTube etiquette. Like I'm like all the women know I'm a sort of taking guy. I've let everybody know this.
Yeah.
And it's like how you sort of carry yourself.
People ask me, like if somebody asks me,
maybe carry yourself a wee bit like a single chick looking for maybe a guy. And
yeah, I was looking for a guy. But I'm not.
Were you really? Or now you're not? See, it was just a game all along. You were never really looking for a guy. You were looking for a guy.
And when I first started my channel, no, I wasn't.
To train this little lapdog, VB, to train this little lapdog. That's how it feels to me. I mean, I get when some couples don't leave each other's houses because they haven't got enough money. But at the same time, if me and Dan broke up and he couldn't afford somehow to not get back to Dublin, I would not, out of respect, be looking for some like strange, you know, like I know how much that would destroy him. So I just think it's really weird that you were out looking for some random bone
Well, I wasn't
in the same house.
I never met anybody in person. I didn't actually do that. When it
yeah, but you're still
because you've got kids.
On the cam.
No, I mean
and you can't leave your kids. You can't just up and be like, oh, I'm good. Like, how much of a bitch are you if you meet some guy on the internet and then just say, oh, ex-husband that I'm not divorced from, can you look after the kids so I can go get laid? You can't do that. You cannot do that. That's a dick move. But you can still flirt with somebody and have an orgasm over the internet in front of some strange random man.
Okay.
You know? Dan's just looking at me like, what the fuck is going on here?
And I felt like something like that would have been fulfilling to me for a little while, and I realized it wasn't. I realized that that's not the road I wanted to go down, and I ended it. And I mean, I feel like you guys like want my marriage to not have any chance of working out. Like,
well, the way you're abusing your man right now, psychologically and emotionally. You're abusing that man, so you're not really looking all that good right now.
I'm abusing you?
No, of course he doesn't, because you've got it all set up perfectly. You know,
but if he knows. I mean, I showed him my conversations. I told him about the men. If he is willing, and you know what his response was? I'm sorry I pushed you to even feel like you needed to do that.
Wow.
I'm so
sorry.
He's
blaming himself. He's blaming himself for something you did.
Yeah, let's let Vlad chime in.
Yeah, I've just been listening.
You.
What's up?
Hey,
I'm just listening. I'm more listening to stuff. I'm listening to what she has to say. I'm willing to listen to people. I'm gonna jump down somebody's throat when you don't have the full picture, you know. But yeah, I feel bad. Honestly, I feel bad for this guy, because a lot of guys get in his trap. They get in his trap and they don't know how to get out. And so,
but I tried to leave,
especially when there's kids involved.
He didn't want
especially when there's kids involved. I know, because there's kids involved. If there was those kids involved, he would tell you to go fuck yourself a long time ago.
Would you?
I mean, that's just how it is. That's just what it is, and it really sucks that there's kids involved, because now he's been weakened.
My angle. Like, I've told him, if we didn't have kids, I would have left you a long time ago. Like, I did put myself aside for years. I stayed just because we had kids.
I'm going to say something. Let me talk to Danny real quick. Let me talk to Danny. You need to listen to this back and listen to yourself and what you're saying, because you're minimizing and justifying everything you're doing and blaming him. I'm not saying he's in the right, but you needed to take accountability for yourself at some point and just do what you needed to do and not blame somebody else.
I didn't say
and minimize what you've done.
I never said
I'm just saying
about it.
Okay, well, no, but you're still minimizing it because of what you're saying. That's what I'm saying. Listen to what you've said. Play back what you've been talking about since you got on here.
I get what you're saying, and I think the source of my defensiveness right now is I really want us to be able to work this out, and if we can,
take responsibility. Take responsibility for what you've done, and don't blame him.
Agency.
Okay, well, yeah.
I definitely. I am sorry.
He can take the blame. He can take the blame for his part, but you guys both have. You can't blame each other, but you have to accept your responsibility for what you've done to yourselves, not to each other, to yourselves. That's what ultimately is. You've done it to yourselves.
Yeah, both of
plus
us.
Big picture. Plus big picture. He cheated on you with video games. You cheated on him with men on camera doing sex things.
Yeah, and I mean, he had a couple girls that he was following on Instagram too, and and that was during the period that, you know, we hadn't had sex in like well over a year, and like it was non-existent. That had ended, like it was gone, and we weren't even talking about it. We were nice to each other and just living together.
There's many layers of that onion. There's many layers of that onion, right?
There? Yeah, where's the respect there? You're living in the same house.
Yeah,
he's the father of your kids. How can you not respect him enough to not wanting to do this? And the same thing with him. Like, how is he not respecting you enough? You guys are in the same house. I don't get this. I don't understand this. Like,
yeah, and you know what? We have a lot to figure out. We have a lot to work out. And what if it doesn't work out?
Let's work it out on YouTube. Let's work it out on YouTube.
Why don't you just mind your own business?
Because you made it my business.
No, I made it not your business when I asked you to leave me alone.
Right. So what I came back to say was, she will insist to the death, even to today, that she's never cheated on her husband. After everything that I've discovered and uncovered and exposed, she will tell everybody she's never cheated on her husband. Do you want me to read back that quote I got from one of your boyfriends again?
Hold on. Yes, but first, let me say something. There's a very, very wise woman in our chat named Vicnoid, and she says, damn, girl, your marriage is over. You know what I'm saying? And just let it be known. That's a woman saying that.
So when we were hooking up and she was getting serious on me, I told her what I was looking for, and she said it was too much pressure. I'm like, all right, it's fine. And then the more I learned about her, it was just not working out for me. I was like, you know what? This is, is not what you led me to believe at first.
You know what was too much pressure? You were telling me that I needed to.
Yeah, I was giving you good advice, actually. I'll go back and I'll post that good advice. It's actually a lot of the same advice that these guys are giving you today.
You won't even.
It's actually a lot of the same advice. But let's go further. So
hang on one sec. I really want to hear what she has to say. That you really wanted to tell her to what? He was telling you to what, Danny?
He wanted me to move out and move in with him right away, and I told him I don't even. Said that. Whatever. I said no, and I'm about to quote you here. I said, we haven't even known each other that long. You're putting a lot of pressure on me. You were putting a lot of pressure on me, and you said that's just how I work. I just jump right into things. I hardly even knew you. I wasn't ready to move in with somebody, let alone even move out yet.
That's correct.
Can I translate that to a man's? Can I just translate that to a man's? I mean, VB, you tell me if this is how you would feel. But if a man is talking to a woman who's still living with her husband, her ex-husband, would you not want to get her out of there as quickly as possible? For two reasons: one, because she might be feeling insecure, and two, because you're obviously going to want to bone her without feeling bad for the husband. You're not going to want her in that situation. If it's a doomed relationship, obviously, if Riggs did say that, he's going to want to get you out of that situation, VB.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
I wasn't ready to.
VB.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If Danny is giving Riggs enough attention for him to have reached this state of emotion and these things that he's doing and the levels he's going to right now on this show, even, can you blame him?
No, I can't. And like for a while, I had reached
that's
that
a first.
state. I felt like that too. And then it got to be where, I wanted to do videos with a certain friend of mine, and he felt like that person was subpar and couldn't deal with it, and started, these people are creeps and I can't, like,
Ace McCloud's a pedophile.
I was a smear on his public image, and he was talking to me like I was less than. And that's where the red flag started going up.
Ace McCloud's a pedophile. You protect people like him, then I don't want anything to do with you. That's what
I've never seen that proof of that for myself, and you didn't provide it to me.
I have plenty of evidence.
That's old news. That's well established.
It is old news. Everyone knows except Danny. And you know what? I gave you good advice because I care about you. I've always given you good advice. And I'm going to give you good advice again. If you want to continue to lay out your marriage and fuck up on the internet right now, it's not going to end well. Okay? And it's already kind of happened. So
my husband is standing next to me.
It doesn't make it right. Just because you've gaslit him into this weird position doesn't make it okay.
Okay,
the fact that you're still here trying to validate yourself is beyond anybody. Everyone in the chat's going nuts because they're thinking that you're actually insane, and it's true.
Well, yeah.
They don't even know half the story.
Let me add something, Danny, real quick. Danny, we'll let you go for a while after this, but let me add something. It has been noted in this chat several occasions now during this live stream chat that you keep denying the shit out of things and then later on just full on admitting them. Okay, let's just let that be known. And let's continue. And you should have the floor for a little bit, Danny.
Actually, I'm going to finish what I'm saying and leave.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Well, do it quick then, because we got to be respectful to the panel.
So one part of this story, okay, I actually have a lot of this guy, Ultimate 9000. I didn't really know anything about him, but I actually got, we've had like a little bit of a friendship. I actually feel bad for this dude.
You doxed him. What are you talking about?
No, I didn't. I actually feel bad about this guy, okay, because they have. It's called this thing is called trauma bonding, where she would ban him in the chat, and then right after, by telling everybody that she has stalkers, banning him in the chat, she would, after her show, be on phone calls, have phone sex, and play video games with him. Every night she would ban him and go through this cycle of torture. She would torture him psychologically for months. Okay, and not only that, she loves this. I have her admitting that she has to keep people on a leash like that, and that she tries to make men upset and jealous so that she can control them. I have all these quotes. And another thing is that she was actually going to escape to Europe, right? But she said she was going to do it to visit this old friend she talked about earlier. Well, guess what? Actually, she was escaping to Europe to go see Ultimate 9000. Okay, she told me a different story. And I have chat logs back to back with her fucking me and fucking him at the same time in December. So this whole idea about poor Danny that she loved me,
I did not meet anyone. No, I didn't.
Actually, she wanted to have all the dick in the world. She wanted like 10 dicks in each hand at the same time. It had nothing to do with love, okay? It had with you being greedy, manipulative, and you wanted to use your husband's tax refund to go visit your other boyfriend in Europe. And when I told you that, you didn't even know which boyfriend it was. So there must have been two. And on that note, I'm fucking out.
Of course, I said, what boyfriend?
You're saying you didn't meet these men in real life. You're taking these airplane flights that you're getting GoFundMe's for.
I went on an airplane flight that took off at my local airport and came back to my local airport. It didn't take me anywhere. We didn't land.
Okay, that's fair.
And I have something to add
in
as
real
well.
Life? Are you meeting these men in real life or not?
No, I have not met anyone.
You're saying no.
I have not.
Okay, all right.
And I want to say one thing real quick.
And I'm not carrying on.
Go on, Vlad.
Let Kakes after Vlad. Let Kakes speak, please. Go, Vlad.
Okay. And this, folks, is why I appreciate my girlfriend. She's an awesome woman, and I don't have to deal with this bullshit online. I couldn't imagine having to deal with this bullshit. So I'm very appreciative of her.
I bet you are, Vlad.
Vlad, put that sexy face.
She's on.
Yeah, Vlad, where have you gone? So
I had to plug in, so it's dark.
Okay, in terms of you guys having to quote unquote work it out, and your husband wants to try, blah blah blah, your husband kind of has no choice but to try, because if you two break up, he loses 4, and I assume they are very, very beautiful children. Because my child is beautiful.
Expensive children too.
Okay, expensive children. But I was going for the emotional aspect. VB, you can come out in the money aspect in a minute. But he's going to have to lose seeing his 4 beautiful children. So your husband has no choice
2 are his,
but to do as you say.
No,
and you know that. No, but you know that, Danny. You know that your husband has no choice but to try and stay and work it out and be your bitch lapdog. Like, you know that's what he has to do, because otherwise he loses out on his kids. And it's the worst thing. My dad lost out on me and my brother because my parents were in a doomed marriage. And he lost out on us, and he had to spend a fuck ton of money, and he missed us. Like, it was horrible for him.
I know.
My dad hung around for like 2-3 years of like a marriage that wasn't working for either of my parents, bless them.
That's
so
why
he has no choice. You could say your husband's doing this, your husband's doing that, but whatever you say goes, and you know that as a woman, because I know that as a woman. I wouldn't use that, but I know that as a woman that you can do whatever the fuck you want right now, and your husband will be like, how high? How high do you want me to jump? Because he will jump through as many fucking hoops as you want him to jump through just to see his kids, and you fucking know that. I'll flirt with however many men I want with on the internet. You may talk.
Yes, 3 of my children are with him. My oldest one, it was years. There was 7 years between my first child and then my youngest 3 who are with him. My ex, I had 1 with him. There was a large gap between. I didn't want to have any more kids. I changed my mind when we got together. He changed my mind. And no, I made more money than he did, actually. It was not about money. I mean, no, I was fine. I did not need money. I was on my own with my son. That we had no problems. And that was not what it was about. But I'm not from here. I'm not, and I could have left. I could have gone back to my hometown, but it would have taken my older son away from his dad and his visiting. And I would not do that to my children. That is not, and I get that. That happened to me. That happened to me and my sister. I have been stuck living places I hate, don't want to be at, just to avoid taking my son away from his dad. So that
your kids know all of this. Do they understand that you and him don't sleep in the bed? Do they know that it's a loveless marriage and you're emotionally torturing him? Do they understand that?
He wants to say something. Is that okay? I mean, I'm not. I don't want to torture anyone. We tried. It was. I didn't have any hope, and like if I can have like a thin thread of hope for something, shouldn't I try?
That's the image you're framing this whole situation in, and that's the deception.
What do you mean
image? Out here.
But this is between me and him, though.
Yeah, exactly. It's how you want it. You want complete control of it. You want to isolate him so that he doesn't understand what you're doing to him as a sociopath.
But are you serious?
Yes, it's very obvious. Everybody in the chat is like seeing what I'm seeing. There's like 20, 30, 40 people in here agreeing.
Right. Well, I guess there's no really.
I'm not trying to put you down. It's just like, you got to understand what you're doing is abuse.
By wanting to give it a chance? That's abuse?
That's how you're framing it. That's a deceptive framing. Let's let Vlad talk. Vlad had something important to say.
Well, no, I'm just going to go. My husband wants to say, I felt like talking to you guys because I thought I liked you and I thought you guys liked me and you asked me to explain myself. And so I wanted
Hey. Don't take this as an attack. This is an observation from all of us.
I'm not a my mom has narcissistic personality disorder and I had to grow up with that. I don't. My sister does, but I don't. And
somehow out of the 3 women, somehow you magically don't have it, even though all signs point to yes.
When there's multiple children, there always tends to be the one who, and this is me, the one who tries to do everything they can to.
That's a great self-diagnosis.
The mom, I've gone through, I can't tell you how many like groups and therapies for years over this because it is fucking terrible. I can't even tell you what it's like to have a mom like that. But
I'm not saying you're evil, and that you're intentionally doing this, but you are inadvertently torturing a man.
Do you feel tortured? I want to talk. He wants to say something.
Right, please.
Vlad, didn't you want to say something? You've been waiting for a while, haven't you?
I just want to. Well, she's already seen something like we're attacking her or just say condemning her. We're not condemning her, attacking her. We're pointing out that what's being said, and it is what it is because that's what's being said, and she's admitted to a lot of this stuff. That's why I've only sat back and listened to all this because I want to hear everything before I say anything. Because I don't like to attack people without all the information I feel comfortable. And that's not even an attack. It's just saying, hey, if you want to know my input, here it is. And I said, I feel bad for you because you're put in this position and she might not be doing it on purpose, but she's still doing it or she has done it. And now the repercussions is now neither one of you are going to trust each other. I don't feel. And that's a bad situation. Your kids are going to be are seeing this. The kids are going to be seeing this. And that's pretty much all I have to say.
I do trust him though.
All right, can you guys hear me?
If you want to, try to work it out, but you're gonna have to. That's what it's gonna take a lot to do.
I know it is, and I'm willing. If I feel like there is a chance that, if I feel like I would leave and feel like I made a mistake, like if I have it in my mind that I could feel like I made a big mistake by leaving, doesn't that mean I should try if he wants to try too? If we both feel like that?
It can be argued. It can be argued that from an outside perspective, you have manipulated him into that frame of mind.
Sure. I mean, I guess I never really considered that perspective, but
everything you said is shown that. That's what I'm trying to say. Everything that's been said that's why I say it's a situation where he's trapped. As far as I'm concerned, he's trapped. I mean, you might not feel like it, Ronald. I don't know what you go by, but you're trapped. And it just sucks because now you can't make a real decision on what you really want to do because of the situation that you're in.
No, I mean it's good that it's good that he
especially after bringing other men into it. Come on.
I mean, it's actually to me it's good that you guys are saying these things because we want to get marriage counseling. I mean, we tried marriage counseling a few years ago and this was when that lady with the kids and like all the chaos was going on and it didn't help us. It was bad. It was terrible. And
Get closer to the mic.
Oh, sorry. He was holding it. Like we did try the marriage counseling before and it didn't I don't think enough, like there was still so much chaos going on with that other family living with us that there was no chance. Like it was so bad. We were just, everybody was avoiding each other just to avoid the tension of all of the people. And once that cleared up and everything settled, you know, it was like we just kind of had stopped talking. I kind of had accepted that things weren't really going to get better. I don't know. But then it got to the point where I couldn't just live like that anymore. And that was my tipping point, like a little less than a year ago. But I mean, no, what I was saying, and I was saying it to him, but Vlad, I mean, I am glad that you guys, I'm shocked by your perspective. I honestly am. Like, I didn't expect you guys to see this situation the way you're bringing it up, but I'm not offended. I really am. I'm not. And I want to bring up what you said when we go to marriage counseling. Like,
hopefully we're red pilling the living shit out of your husband right now.
Can I talk?
Yeah, he wants to say something.
Let him talk, man. Let him talk.
Yeah, let him talk. He's been wanting to talk for 20 minutes.
It's Ron's turn now.
He wants me to mute for just a second.
So he can ask you if everything's okay, and if he can say what he wants to say.
Yeah.
So he has your permission.
No, he asked me if I trust him, and he asked me to go outside, so I don't hear what he's saying. So I'm going to walk outside. I don't know.
Okay.
Nice. Hey, I can respect that. I can respect that.
Hey, Dagan. What up, man?
I'm going outside.
Ron, John, Fawn.
All right, can you guys hear me?
Hang on.
I can hear you, yeah.
All right, she's going outside.
You want to show me going outside on the camera?
No, not really.
We still here.
So, all right.
Shutting the door.
So I appreciate everybody, taking the time to talk to us. And we have a very complicated, confusing relationship, and it's really depressing that all this had to come out on the internet. And if hopefully we can work things out, and that'll make, if that happens, then all this is worth it. So, and I understand where all you're coming from. It is definitely going to be a difficult uphill battle. But I mean, I told her when all of this really came to a head in December, I told her that I just want her to be happy. I don't care who she's with, if it's me or somebody else. I just want her to be happy. So I told her she could live with me until she could get established and move out, and that because just for her sake and our kids' sake, because I cared about her, and she agreed that we would try to do that, and I told her that as long as she was single, I'd never stop trying. So and I told her a long time ago that if she's willing, that I'll spend pretty much every day trying to prove that how much I care about her. So now I can understand where you guys are coming from.
So what did you do wrong?
Me?
What did you do wrong?
Well, I'm an asshole, and I don't mean to be an asshole. I'm just a really blunt individual.
Well, that's subjective. You could be like a good guy.
Oh, no, I've been told that I'm an asshole, and that I'm didn't
How
really.
are you an asshole?
As
the woman on the panel. Yeah, how are you the asshole? As the woman on the panel, tell me how you're the asshole.
Okay. And don't forget this either. And don't forget this either, bro. You put 3 babies up in that woman.
Yeah, I know.
Take what you fucking want, bro.
No,
and
I get all that, but I've never been an emotional individual, ever. I mean, my kids have never seen me cry until the past month or so. Well, the past few months, ever. My daughter actually asked me last year if I can even cry, if dads cry. I had explained to her that dads do cry. It just doesn't happen often. My wife would call me emotionally ignorant. I think that's very real for me. I just don't understand emotions. Never did. I would make fun of her for crying and told her I don't want to hear that. I don't have time for that shit. Get away from me. I don't care that you're upset. It doesn't bother me. She would have conversations with me about something that I did, and then I would completely tune her out and not understand why she was upset. And we would just have the same conversation over and over and over again.
So you don't even care about her?
Well, no, it's not that I didn't care about her. It's just that just whatever it was that she was upset about was too petty for me at that point to even listen to her being upset. Now, looking back, that's just me being an asshole. I mean,
no.
Is it really though, or is it you being reasonable and her pestering?
So do you know, I get annoyed. I get annoyed with Dan because so I'll be annoyed at something. He's the emotional one in this relationship. I don't get emotional, but I'll get angry at something, and Dan will be the voice of reason, and he will be the absent. And I will be like, "Why are you reasoning? Why are you not just agreeing with me? Why can't you just be angry with me?" And that's not him being an asshole. That's just him being a voice of reason. If she's crying over some pathetic little thing, that, in my opinion, is her problem. Fucking deal with it. You know, like women are like right now, like lady time has like pretty much just finished for me. TMI for you guys, I'm sorry, but deal with it. So I have been like emotional, and you guys know me, I'm not well, half of you know me, like there's 41 people here, the other half don't know me. You know, so I have been like really emotional, but not crying and being a little baby in front of Dan, because, you know, I have learned how to control these emotions and not be a little bitch. Like, if somebody's crying all the time, man the fuck up. Like, I don't think you're being a dick.
I was going to say that, Kakes. I was going to say, well, there's context behind it. Why was she upset? And sometimes you will just say piss off because you think she's maybe over-dramatizing the situation. So you only go down to their level and feel sympathy because you feel like they're maybe going overboard with their emotions. And as a man, you don't sort of empathize with women that way when they get emotionally worked up about stuff. It's hard to empathize. So on her side, she needs to understand you're a man. You can't always empathize when she's emotionally distressed. You can't always go down to that level every time.
And that's something that I've had a conversation with her about, is that men and women deal with emotions totally differently. Like, we blow up and then it's over with, and with women it can take days, you know, hours, days, whatever. As soon as the fight's over, it's over for me. I'm moved on.
Half the time it's fake though, because what women do once they've taken control is they shit test men. They'll shit test you. They'll just throw a pile of shit in front of your face and just be like, deal with that.
And then they test their limits to see how far they can go.
Yeah, and if you gotta put your foot down and be like, well, yeah, it looks like you created yourself a fucking problem. Fix it. Go ahead and clean the mess up that you just made. Yeah, and then she has to respect you, because if she could slap something down in front of you and you bow to her, you're just her little bitch. She's never going to respect you. She's going to continue to look for validation from men that challenge her, because that's what she wants. Women want to be challenged and put in their place. That's where they feel most comfortable. It actually brings them comfort. So they shit test you so that you give them the smackdown, not physically, but you give them that emotional smackdown, put them in their fucking place, and then they fucking are soaking wet for you forever.
That's true, by the way.
Yeah.
As
the woman here, I agree.
But don't be an asshole. You know what I mean? There is a certain line. Don't kick fuck at them.
No, you just gotta show self-respect. You gotta show that I'm a self-respecting person. You're not gonna treat me like that, regardless of if I stick my dick in you every once in a while. You know? And see, that's the thing, is that for a lot of women, the greatest thing that they have to offer is the gold-plated vagina, the GPV. You know? And they use that. That's their weapon. That's their main go-to.
How else are you an asshole? How else are you an ass? Because so far I don't see you as being an asshole right now. Again, I'm going to play the woman card, which you guys know I don't do. As the woman on the panel, I don't see you being an asshole. Like, you're just not humoring her bullshit.
I know, but we've no seen enough or heard enough to judge whether he's an asshole or not.
That's what I mean. Like, how else is he an asshole?
Kakes, somebody in the chat has said that both he and her seem to be narcissists, and that's why they're comfortable with each other.
Maybe they're a good couple.
That's not true. Narcissists don't get along like that.
Well, and how can anybody know if I'm a narcissist from like the maybe 4 minutes of talking I've done on here?
I agree, bro. I agree, actually. No, I agree with you saying that.
And the message that D said, so Eternal Padawan, that's D, that's my co-host. He's put, so you changed for her. That's a mistake, dude. Yeah. You need to change for you.
No, I didn't change for her, and that's something I told her. That's one of the reasons I went to therapy, was because I wanted to better myself. I didn't want to be better for her. I wanted to be better for myself. I think you're taking what I'm saying out of context. But even that's how I said it.
You should waste your money. You shouldn't even have to waste your money on therapy, man.
Well, I'm not necessarily going to therapy because of what's going on between me and her. It's not, the therapy I'm going to is for me. It's personal counseling. It's not, for anything that's going on with her. I've got tons of issues. I've been messed up beyond belief. I take a ton.
Are you former military?
I'm not. No.
Okay.
So how else are you an asshole? Like, I still haven't established how you're an asshole. To be perfectly honest, mate.
It's late here. My kids have to go to bed, so I really wish I could get into it more, and I can't. But I mean, I can see that both of you. Was it Kakes? Is that your name?
Yeah, that's me.
Vlad, I can see both of you have like others in the room. So hopefully, if we've made you guys closer, awesome. So.
I didn't hear that last little bit. He kind of trailed off.
if we've been able to make you guys appreciate one another with our issues, I mean, that's pretty awesome in my opinion.
No, well, I've been fully aware of that, but this just reiterated it once again. Seeing this, and it's not just you two; it's everything that's been involved now, because all these other people are involved in this. And it's like, fuck this shit. We don't argue like this at all.
What I've realized too, with the conversation, is part of it is part of women's nature, because I grew up with a single mother, and she went through certain guys. And there was guys that were so fucking nice, man, turn up with flowers and would give me and my sister gifts and shit. My mum didn't like these guys. She fucking sort of went off them very quickly. But see, the guy that was a prick, the guy that was getting fights, the guy that was a fucking bad boy. My mum gravitated towards these guys. I mean, she loved them. And I never understood why. Until now, as a man, women are attracted to that. They're attracted to guys that are a bit edgy.
It's the rescue thing. They got to rescue them. And
they like guys that just turn over.
Ron, are you the bad boy to Danny?
I mean, I've done some messed up things in my life, but I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm a bad boy.
Were you the bad boy in the beginning?
I would not say that, no.
For starters, cut the letters out. Cut the letters out in the morning, man. Fuck that.
What?
What? Well, was there no Danny that was saying earlier that you would write a letter in the morning every morning? Was that Danny?
Yeah, she said that. Yeah.
Yeah, like writing letters in the morning, man.
I don't write a letter every morning. I just try to occasionally.
Women prefer erections in the morning.
About her.
Yeah, we do.
Of course.
So they are, because I know I'm so healthy. When I wake up with a card on, I know I'm still youngish.
Well, no, apparently there's a test to know if you're still young. According to Dan, if your balls float in the bathtub.
I only take showers. Just hang down like halfway between my knees. Somewhere,
I say this. If you and Danny are really trying to work things out, this is a very, very simple solution. You stop wasting your money on therapy. You stop paying for her to have therapy. It's all bullshit. And you just take whatever the fuck you want,
with each other.
And you bend that bitch over the fucking kitchen counter, basically, and just set it all straight and just take over. We're taking over shit. That's all she wants, bro. If that's really the case. And just make sure she understands that other men being in the picture is completely out of the question 100% once you take it.
That's how much you care for her, though. You wouldn't accept her speaking to other fucking douchebags on the internet. Groveling fucking douchebags. And she maybe she wants you to push these douchebags away and say, I'm the fucking man. I'm in the house. Get on that bed. Get your fucking knickers off.
It seems like Ron doesn't have that much attention to give her, though, and I don't know if that's something that he can
wear a condom, because 4 kids. You know what I mean? Maybe you weren't like that.
That's a lot.
How does Ron really feel about her? Is the question. How does Ron really? How do you feel about her?
Oh, I'm madly in love with her.
But do you still want to hit it every day and shit?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That always fades, man. Like no one can.
Been together for 14 years and it ain't faded yet.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
I still masturbate.
How does it make you feel? So how does it ultimately make you feel when you think about her talking to these other guys?
Oh, I'm shaking with anger right now. I want to punch the screen. I want to shatter the screen right now, but I'm not going to do that. Oh yeah, validation boy. Like I really wanted to fuck you up a few times, but what good does that do? So.
The truth is the truth, though.
I'm just trying to save a life.
Yeah, no, but I love my wife to death. I got to get my kids to sleep, and they shouldn't be hearing some of the things I'm saying anyway. So it's nice talking to you guys. So
it was a pleasure having you on
between us. And
thanks for coming on.
I would appreciate it if all the other people that have been involved in here, if this could end right now. Just leave it alone. Quit messing with the channel. Quit messing with their friends. Quit messing with us. Let's all move on from this point forward. Everybody just move on and the rest of your lives. So that's all I have to say. Yeah. Right?
But just make sure she listens back at least one time what she said earlier. Just so she can understand what she was saying.
Right.
I don't think she knew what she was saying.
None of what the regular panel, so that's us 4, have said, none of what we say comes out of malice. You know, we've met her before. She seems pretty cool. It's literally just straight from the hip how it is and how we feel. And that doesn't necessarily mean that we don't like her. That's just how it is. Like, I don't want to beat around the bush and
no
like,
bias.
oh, no, honey, you know, blah, blah, blah.
No bias.
No, yeah, exactly.
Truth could be ugly. Truth could be ugly.
Exactly. And it's not coming from a nasty place. Like, she's cool and I'd like to have her on again. Like, when I met her 6 weeks ago, like, it was nice to have another woman on the panel that actually seemed to know what the fuck she was talking about instead of just, oh my God, look at my tits, you know, like Sasha. No shade. Many shade.
All right.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
He was cool, man. He sounds cool.
I liked him.
Yeah.
Have he been at all? No.
He could have been in full. He could have been in full attack mode. He could have been in full attack mode, but he didn't do that. So
no,
you have to respect him for that. You have to at least have some respect for that, because
some of the shit we were saying really blew his fucking mind. He was sitting there listening to us talk about their relationship on like the deepest, darkest fucking levels and shit, and they just like took it, and that probably just blew his mind.
We've all got experience. Okay, we're no little fucking kids on the internet. Well, and I've got my experience. I'm a dad. I've got kids. I've been around certain women. I know what women are like as well. And I don't take a bias just because it's my mum. It's easy. It's like my most sort of biggest experience about females has probably been my mother itself, like through my whole life. Like I always think about my mum, and it's easy for people to be biased because it's their mother, they love their mum, but I can easily look back and think, God, my mum was a bit of a bitch. like as a grown-up now, I can put the bias aside that she's my mum and look at her as a person. And what was she like as a person, as a human being? And I can honestly, as a 37-year-old now, can speak about these things without it bothering me because I'm speaking about my mom. You know what I mean? It's like, I know she wasn't perfect. You know what I mean? And all of us aren't perfect. I mean, that's what people need to understand. All these people don't cast this fucking first stone. Okay, what's that saying? Again, cast the first stone. Everybody's guilty of dumb shit, man.
Jed, and you gotta like thank God for your missus and how you know that she's actually great and not the way that your mom was to you. You know?
Yeah.
No, I think it really must. Yeah, I mean, it must really give you a humbled feeling. And I feel quite, after all of that, I feel fucking humbled for the lack of drama that's in mine and Dan's relationship. Like Vlad was saying, I think we all just need to take a moment of appreciation for Dan for putting up with my bullshit. just for a moment, you know, because obviously
he's not taking it personal. He's not taking it personal though. That's what the key thing is.
Dan knows that the guys in this room here are not trying to hit on you and, you know, that kind of stuff at all. So he's like, okay, she's hanging out with friends and shit. It's not about you trying to get a whole bunch of guys' attention and all that kind of crap. Yeah.
Exactly. I have, Dan has an excellent dick. You guys know this. I've said this before. I have no reason to try and get some strange. So, you know, I mean, there is a lot of trust in mine and Dan's relationship. I mean, he's been with some crazy exes who wouldn't let him talk to his two best friends that just so happen to be females. You know, because they're women, that means that I can't trust him not to put his penis in them. Like, come on. His two best friends are girls, and I know that they've slept in the same bed completely platonically with clothes on because they were too stoned to move. You know, I'm not going to begrudge the man for that. So, bitches be crazy.
There's always an element of trust to make a relationship. That's one of the key things, and it's one of the things I learned as well, Kakes. I used to be quite a jealous guy. Again, when I was younger, when the other guys spoke to my missus, and I'd be sitting there, I was like, what the fuck? And I was quite a jealousy, and it was to me, when I grew up, I realized it was quite a female, well, not a female trait, because that kind of makes females sound fucking hangry, but I've noticed as a man, as I'm older, females have more likely got that trait, that bitchiness, that jealousness, that cattiness, that I kind of had as a jealous man, kind of young man, and jealous, but I learned once I dropped the jealousy and adopted trust, big time trust, the relationship is so much better. It's so much better when you can trust the other side. And you've got to trust yourself as well. You know what I mean? You've got to fucking trust yourself, not to do any shit.
That's really what it boils down to. If you don't trust yourself, you can't trust anybody else.
Exactly.
It seems as though the dynamic in the general population, the way that relationships are here in 2020, are not so much based on the whole trust thing, like you're saying. It's more, or a successful relationship, should I say. And that's good that that's successful in your relationship. That's good. Many, many, many people are the exact same way. That's important. That's a whole way of thinking and way of living life, which is the right way. But nowadays, the general thing seems to be where it's arranged where the man is meant to truly not care about the woman, and that's how he can get over his jealousy. That's the culture that's being pushed right now. And that's what is driving the women crazy and being like, I can't control him. I need to try to control him. And they will never leave a man alone. And that seems to be the dynamic that is an answer to the craziness of what feminism had created in our society. And this is the new way that men are sort of taking back their masculinity, is by truly not caring, like in a weird way, but not caring enough to do it in the name of ensuring that girl is to you. It's kind of weird. It's a very weird dynamic, but that's the way that it seems to be. That's what all the MGTOW people and all the dating coach people and all that crap all preach about now. That's basically what it has become. And for older people in our age group here, it's not like that. We still live in the old-fashioned way, which is, I think, the right way. It's a shame that things have had to come to that new situation. I'm not a part of that, but that's how it's all working in the relationship dating world these days. And it's, I don't know, is it sad? Is it weird? Is it bad? Is it sad that that's what it had to come to for men to take back their fucking position?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This is another thing though, like I've not seen usually. It's in my experience, it has been the men that have been the jealous ones. Don't get me wrong, or I had a woman that was extremely jealous. Like I was married, and yeah, she was like I say, looking through my phone, blah blah blah, all that shit. Like if I was 10 minutes late home from work, she'd be thinking I was off shagging, and I was never unfaithful to her, not once. So there was no basis for this thing. But on the whole, it's definitely been men that have been jealous, as far as I can tell. So yeah.
It's because women, through feminism, have become this, in general, women have this new attitude where it's like, oh, I'm the hot shit and I got all the men chasing me. I'm the one picking. When it was never like that before. In the olden times, it was like the woman basically was glad to be chosen by the man. The man had to be able to provide everything.
Yeah, if you look at nature, peacocks, for example, the female peacock is brown and boring. The male peacock is all flashy. Before, it was the men who had to attract the women. Now, a woman, and I know this from experience, you guys know that I used to be a skinny little hot thing, and I could just stand in a bar and I'd have men fawning over me, like literally fawning over me. Because I didn't have to move a fucking finger. And women have got used to that. Women have got used to being able to just be like, well, look at all these men because men think with their dicks, blah, blah, blah. Or is the narrative that we've been, led to believe? Or is that just nature with men want to prolong the genes,
In olden times, that situation wouldn't have existed. Or if it did, you would have been like a hooker and getting money and shit, like
exactly.
Like that's matriarchy as opposed to patriarchy.
And men would have before looked for the women with the stable family background kind of thing, and women with security. Whereas
and how
now,
conservative they were and how pure they still were, if you know.
Well, if you go back to Roman times, men would actually look for women that had already had children because they were proven to be fertile. It had nothing to do with attraction or anything like that. It was literally they wanted to know that they could guarantee that this woman was going to be able to bear their child, and if they'd had sons, more the better.
Yeah, and now we've seemed to, I feel like we're in this shift where we no longer look at desirability as many different factors. We now look at desirability over appearance completely. It's how big of a pair of tits. I mean, you guys in the chat, you're always mentioning my bosom. Yes, they are huge. Yes, I love them. Dan loves them. They're fantastic. They're not for you, however. But it is all about how people look nowadays, and we no longer judge people on other merits. It is solely on people's appearance and how they present themselves. And I think that is one of the problems that is leading us down. Yeah. That is very true, and women will pick. And
but that's what I was saying. But I've said this before in another hangout. But if that was the case, what you just said, it's always about appearance. We'd have a population of amazing looking people that don't get bald, that don't get that, like, because nature would take away those genes. But we haven't. We've still got short men walking around. We've still got bald guys walking around. We've still got guys with small penises. Like, if women only went with guys with large penises, like, guys with small penises, it would just fade away. Like,
baldness should be more prevalent. This is the thing. See, it's because our testosterone's getting taken away that there aren't as many bald men. Baldness is a sign of masculinity in nature, because baldness is caused by an excess of testosterone buildup.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true?
It's that simple.
Yeah. The testosterone affects the glands in the head, the follicles.
What about facial hair? I have no facial hair at all.
That's very interesting.
Facial hair?
I've said that before, and you guys fucking laugh at me and talk shit.
I haven't seen that.
I said that many times.
That was episode.
You watch science. I know there's lots of science deniers out there, but this is like proven science.
VB waxes his head because he's got an afro. He actually grows an afro.
D. Paul thinks you're hitting on VB now. I think Paul's
well, no, I'm trying to explain my baldness more than anything.
Exposed.
It's like fat people saying they're big boned. It's like when fat people say they're big boned.
Yeah. No. But again, this is based on true science. Like, it is testosterone. Like VB says, it kills off the hair follicles. So yeah.
My beard and facial hair is just as thick as Jed's, if not thicker.
Yes, I have no facial hair at all.
And Andy.
I bet it's black. It
goes all the way down here. It goes all the way down here. I have to shave that shit every single fucking day.
I bet it's black like a Mexican.
I just don't bother. It's ridiculous. I know what you mean. It's just,
all down there. It's just the top of my head. The hairline keeps going farther and farther back.
VB, you said
VB, because I don't cut my hair, I've still got all these like stupidly random long bits in the bald patch.
VB shaves his balls and everything. Like, he shaves his asshole and everything because it's like the hair gets so bad. He was telling us last time, like, shit pure hangs off it and fucking I think he'll be shit hanging off his arse hairs every day.
Clingers.
What do they call those?
One's on the starboard bow.
Dingleberries.
Clingers.
Dangleberries.
Yeah.
Dangleberries.
VB dragging his arse across the ground.
See, the thing is, let me tell you this. When I was in my late teens and early 20s, I was in all these punk rock bands and we were playing all these concerts. I already had thin hair because I'm a freaking German Polak and shit. And blonde, basically, as a kid until it became like dirty brown. And I used to just bleach my shit. And then I would put gel in it and spike it, and I would dye it like bright blue and shit. And then I would bleach it again. Then I'd dye it black, jet black.
Did you have Liberty spikes then? Did you have Liberty spikes? The ones that are like everywhere.
I'm about to drag out some old pictures of me.
Okay, he's frozen. That doesn't answer my question.
Did you all hear what
I heard
Did you all hear what I was
it.
talking about?
And then I interrupted you and asked if you had Liberty spikes.
I had all kinds of different spikes and shit and crazy haircuts and shit.
Cool.
As long as it lasted. But then I basically murdered my hair because I would put the bleach on there and put tinfoil on top of the head to keep to make it go all the way to the roots.
It's not high testosterone then, it's bleach. You fucked your head.
Maybe. Could be both. I don't know.
You just
the funny thing for me was when I first moved to Plymouth, like, because I was in the Marine Cadets and everything, so I had the short sides and everything with spike top, and then by the time I was in the third year of school here, once I'd moved, I was getting threatened to be kicked out because my hair was too long. So yeah, I went through a complete like 180. Once I got into the heavy metal, I just let my hair go.
Freddie wants me to put dreadlocks in his hair.
He would look pretty cool because he's blonde, isn't he? So yeah, blonde.
Can you imagine how good they would look?
Cultural appropriation.
Oh, shut up, Jay.
Yeah. It is. You're not allowed to adopt other cultures' stuff.
No, they're Vikings
You're
with dreadlocks.
You're insulting them by doing
Right,
that.
okay. Well, as long as black women are still bleaching
so you're not allowed
and
to be a,
straightening their hair,
Hindu. You're not
I
allowed to
will
be a
have
Rasta.
dreadlocks.
Yeah.
That's religion. You can pick your religion.
Oh, so religion's okay to pick, but not cultural aspects. Like, so.
But you're trying to look like them. You're trying to look like them. You're trying to do a Michael Jackson. Like, that's insulting. When he was trying to look like, when he was trying to look like me, that insulted me.
Buddhist can't put clothes on that will make them look like a Buddhist because they're not really monks.
I can't concentrate.
Michael Jackson tried to look like me, and I found that insulting.
What if a black person picked up the Hare Krishna fucking haircut?
What the fuck's a Hare Krishna haircut?
You never seen the Hare Krishna? Vlad knows what I'm talking about in the airports and shit.
What, bald with a ponytail or some shit?
Yeah, exactly.
It's all shaved except for like a little bit on the back.
Is that cultural appropriation?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do myself. Not for the Hare Krishna, just because that's what I want to do. So I can have my face cock and then my back and my head cock.
You can do skipping ropes. You can tie them together and do skipping ropes. Kind of like you can jump.
Yeah.
Oh god! Oh, it's been a crazy night tonight, guys. Like the drama that's been fucking.
God.
I love it.
You know,
I love it.
It was so petty. No, if it was decent drama, I could have. Like, I mean, I just wish I'd stuck my game on tonight and carried on fucking gaming. Like, I mean,
thought it was
just
hilarious,
so petty.
No,
there was just no
it was
need for it on
hilarious.
YouTube. There wasn't. It was
There
just so.
wasn't, no.
It was the same petty crap that drove me away from Flat Earth.
The nuances, like the fact that she was caught masturbating on the cam, that was hilarious. The ovulation,
So, like, just because you might not be into like fucking sexting or whatever, like, doesn't mean other people won't be. I mean, I'm old school. You would never catch me like wanking on screen.
People in chat reacting to it. It's brilliant. It's fucking brilliant. You can't beat that.
To be fair, this is the thing I think we forget as well. There's an awful lot of Christians out there that it's morally wrong, so it must be wrong. Like,
what's wrong?
Sleeping around with lots of people and stuff.
She never slept around with lots of people, just talking to lots of guys on the fucking internet. People,
listen, guys. It was a brutal fucking marriage counseling. A brutal truth marriage counseling. And we just provided it for free for them as a service.
To be fair, I think me and BB made
level shit, right?
Yeah, I think we made an excellent team there, BB, with the fucking counsel in there. Like I came with the, and then you came with the, it was like for my drunk ass self.
Get a fucking room.
Vlad fucking laid the hammer. You all saw it. Vlad came in and was like, when he finally got his chance to speak, Vlad laid the fucking smack down on that whole situation.
Vlad was good.
Yeah, I can only tell the truth. I had enough information to be able to say and give a little bit of input on it.
I think the way that you handled it is why he ended up being so nice by the time he got on the microphone.
That dude was awesome. Yeah, I got to say at the end.
He was great.
He's a nice guy. I quite liked him.
Yeah.
I like the Tony.
He
He's quite a chilled guy, isn't it? Like I sound more fucking uppity than him, man.
I feel sorry that this situation's been forced on him in a way. Like,
yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It could be true. This could all be some big fucking scam. I've not made my mind up yet. I have not seen enough evidence. I've just heard bitch, bitch, bitch.
This dude is existing in the world. This dude is existing in the world, and all of a sudden, his wife, with all her YouTube shit, sucks him onto Jed's show, where we give him the most brutal fucking red pill he's ever heard in his life and shit.
That's
like,
how I
whoa, like, yeah, that was some serious fucking shit. That was like some solid fucking drama. It really was.
And like I said, I love it. It was good.
Yeah,
I felt bad for
it's
him.
productive as well. I love it when it's productive. That's you same way the last time with Vlad and Issa. Like there was a wee bit of conflict in that, but eventually, it turns out good in the end and all that shit. And this is why I do it. This is why I throw people in the mix, and I and it's almost like a fucking lighting a fuse and just hoping for the best.
You could see your face, Jen, at the beginning, mate. You were just there like that, like fucking boom. You almost like, where's your popcorn? Like fucking yay.
Is that girl ever going to show up on this show again?
I think she will.
Yeah.
No, I hope so. Like, yeah, I mean, this is good to have the diversity and stuff.
Hopefully she listens back and listens to herself only, not anybody else, just herself. Hope I
no,
made
the
that
whole
point.
show.
No, I'm saying, I was making a point. She needs to listen to what she was saying, because what she was saying was just all over the place. It didn't make no sense, and then she was minimizing and justifying her actions and blaming him.
You saw when I called her out and shit, right?
Yeah,
like I said before, with the GoFundMe trips with the airplanes and shit like that, I find it more honest when someone can just turn around and say, "Do you know what? I can't make a lot of money. I want to do some fucking airplane thing. Give me money." You know what I mean? It's like, that's more honest than making it some flat earth. That's 2015, man. Like, booking flights.
Yeah.
How many people have went up in planes and filmed sunsets and shit? Like, you didn't have to fucking you didn't have to book a flight to do that shit anymore. Everyone's done that shit with levels and fucking gyroscopes and fucking cameras and fucking. If you look on YouTube, you can find millions of fucking videos. So this bullshit about GoFundMe for an airplane flight to fucking see the horizon.
2020.
To me, that's
2020.
This is half the problem with the flat Earth now. The cult gets involved and this shit happens. Like, I mean, you've got to start being able to prove everything yourself. Like, you can't trust anyone. Like, there's nothing. Like, so I mean, people still want to do these experiments and stuff. Like I say,
I know, but when I first got in it, there wasn't a lot of fucking stuff to see. But now there's so much, man. There's fucking millions.
Well, there's too much, and there's too much misinfo in with it as well. Like I say, I mean, you cannot trust anything. It's an absolute joke. And like I say, most of the flat earthers are still working off science that's 50 years old, so they're not even up to date with science. So they're arguing against points that have been already proven by science to be wrong.
Whatever, D.
No, he's right with a few of those things, and that's like the moon stuff, all the moon stuff. I mean. It's like it's already been proven it's false. It's like, well, let's look past that now.
Flat Earth can only be thought of in a great magnitudes. It's like,
I think it's a good philosophical fucking. Yeah. It's a good philosophical. I like it that way.
Don't get me wrong. Like I say, I've not jumped back on the globe or anything. I still understand there are plenty of inconsistencies within science. But real scientists already know this. So the only people you're debunking are not real scientists. They're people that are claiming to be scientists, but have a bias. So they can therefore not really be a scientist.
The way I see these sometimes is think of the world as just these fucking people like Simon Dan and fucking Fight the Flat Earth. Imagine just YouTube was full of these people and the world was full of these kind of people, NASA fanboys and fuck. What a shitty
I'm not trying to shut them down. Yeah.
I want people arguing against it. I want people saying, no, the fucking moon landings were fake. I want fucking, and I'll actually even argue on their side at times, even if I'm not a flat earther. So,
no, see, if I'm talking to flat earthers, I'll try and be respectful to the flat earthers, if you know what I mean, and stuff. Like, I don't mean to like say some of the shit I do. It just comes out because of the way I fucking talk. I never mean anything offensively or derogatory because I've been there, if you know what I mean. I've done this. It's like nobody's right. Like, this is the thing.
You and Jed are flat earthers. Come to terms with it, guys. You know you are. Just stop with all the bullshit. You know, deep down inside, you've heard all these things in your mind. You know there's things that you can never put to rest. And it's like, damn, oh man.
I'm so far beyond flat Earth, it's not even funny. It's so much deeper than flat Earth. Like if you want to stay stuck there in the Mayas and stuff, like on your low level conspiracy flat Earth stuff, that's fine. I'm so far beyond that, it's not even funny.
I know, but you know it's one of those foundational pieces to everything, though, right?
It was. You know, it was my break into the conspiracy world. The first ever conspiracy I looked into was flat Earth.
Well, that's crazy because flat Earth is something that typically most people graduate to on a high level. You know, like you get to that. Yeah, like it all started years ago with the moon hoax, and then if you follow conspiracy culture all the way till you get to the point where flat Earth comes out. It was like, holy fucking shit, this is the big one and shit. And philosophically, it can't be refuted, and that's why it's the big one. You know, it's like
exactly. Philosophically, it can't be disputed, and this is the problem, because there is an objective truth behind everything, and we're getting tricked into I don't know, I can't know this. So now we no longer really stand for anything solid. We just stand for ideas and stuff, and the facts have kind of gone out the window, and you can't really argue the facts with anyone, because the right people aren't going to talk to you about this, because they're going to see you as ridiculous just as you see them as ridiculous. So again, the real conversations are never going to happen. The real epiphanies are never going to come, because the real information isn't being discussed. It's like most flat earthers still think that science believes in a heliocentric model. I mean, science hasn't believed in a heliocentric model for hundreds of years, since Copernicus.
When this goes down, when this finally does go down, this right conversation, who is it going to be between? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's certainly not Neil deGrasse Tyson or Bill fucking Nye.
I know, but that inherently puts people in the, official big science community in some position of authority by saying like, oh, this conversation's never going to happen with the right people. Like, who do we bother? Who do we need to convince?
No,
fuck big science. We're never going to convince them because they are liars. Big science is a lie.
Well, big science is just as much the priesthood of today, basically, as religion was in the past. Don't get me wrong.
That's why I don't give a fuck about needing their validation, needing the system or societies or big science's opinion of that they think the Earth is a globe. I don't give a flying fuck. You know what I'm saying?
No.
To me, it's obvious. Earth. And it's like, and I almost get off on it. I almost get off on the fact that it's like, yeah, fuck you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's
how I feel, not you.
No, I know what you mean, but this is the thing, again, because it's the people that are involved in it. Like I say, everyone seems to think, we're all basing this on information, like true, pure information and stuff. But at the end of the day, most conversations are about people and people's take on stuff and subjectivity and all this kind of stuff that takes us away from true knowledge, from actually finding out the real facts and what we're actually being taught. I mean, most of us can't even talk to our kids today and find out what they're being taught in school. So we're even behind on what we think's being taught, because like we're thinking what we were taught 20 years ago and stuff. And like I said, it's just also backwards. It's crazy.
Well, so morally, the right thing to do is to be a flat earth dogmatist at that point.
Just what's the word? To be skeptical. That's it. But again,
to live and let there be this possibility that big science isn't lying and that the Earth's a globe and all that bullshit. It's like, come on, no way. I'm never going to go back to that shit. It's like sellout shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm never going to go back to that.
The whole live and let live stuff, because it really doesn't matter. Like I've been saying, it's the control system that's what matters to us. Like, that's what's really affecting our lives at the moment, and has been for at least the past 60 years in a big fucking way.
So there's no value in being a actively dogmatic flat Earth proponent in defiance of that.
Like I say, you would need diversity, and true diversity means having people that think completely differently to you.
There's value in the question. I think there's value in the question. Like, what do you believe and what do you know? Like, and you need to realize that knowledge, you need to have experience. You can listen to somebody tell you what it was like to fly in a jumbo jet. And if you've never done it, all you've got is their experience. So you can believe that they flew in a jumbo jet. But to know, you have to get in that fucking plane. And it's just like, I keep coming down to the fact that, like, you have to really go up in a rocket. When you're arguing with flat earthers, the only way you can really win it, because you can give them the perspective, you can give them the moon, the stars, and they can throw all that out the window.
Right.
And eventually it comes down to experience. Can you go up in a rocket and fucking look down? You know what I mean?
But, see, this is the biggest problem now with that argument. They've already tricked a load of people in thinking they went into space. So if any flat earther went into space, they'd only say, oh, you just tricked me. Use a simulator. Yeah, literally, honestly, and I'm not saying it is a globe, but if flat earthers went in a rocket, went up into space, saw a globe, they would say it was a simulation and they were tricked. There's no way they'd accept it as evidence. Not a chance in hell.
Now, it has to be done a certain way, so that you're not in this little dark room like that Space Cadets show. Remember, they were in this dark room, all of a sudden they were flying. And you get in a rocket that, you know, you can see from point A. It has windows in it, so you see when you take off, you're seeing from point A to point Z. You know where the fuck you're at, and you've seen it from all those steps, and you're not hidden from it. Like all of a sudden, they just open it up like they did on the Space Cadets. Like, oh, here's the Earth. See it? You're like, oh yeah, wow! It doesn't even feel like we're off the ground. Everybody kept saying that. It doesn't even feel like we're flying. I was dying laughing. I was like, what the fuck? Because they weren't, and they knew it.
Well, no, they weren't.
Saying,
because they had no way to simulate momentum, did they? So that's the big issue they had. Like, yeah.
Well, they had to convince them that they wouldn't feel it. That's what they had to do. They convinced them they wouldn't feel it. That's what I'm saying. But if you had something that you've seen from when you walked into something, a ship, and you had glass, and obviously you had to be a certain type of glass, but you could see out it and look out the window the whole time, and you see the ground, you're at ground level, and all of a sudden the ground's disappearing below you, and you're seeing the whole thing. Then it would be believable. I mean,
I don't think even then it would.
When
I
is
don't
this
think
technology
even then it
going to
would.
appear? I mean, I've not heard this technology discussed about anywhere. So, like, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, it's unachievable expectations of getting proof. And
none of us are ever going up that high.
I'm not believing there's a fucking Tesla car flying through fucking space.
No,
there is no space.
I don't believe it's a Tesla car driving through space. I don't believe we landed on the moon. Like, I mean,
there is no space.
That's the first step right there. That's the first step, is knowing that we didn't go to the moon. Because there's reasons for that.
Well, no, see, this I was a confirmed flat earther for 2 years. So I mean, like,
which means you're a flat earther for life. Too bad. So
no,
sad.
no. See, that whole once you go flat, you can't go back. That's just cult bullshit.
We
like
all
I say,
know
and honestly,
the
biggest thing that made me an undisclosed earther is the cult. Like I say, as a flat earther, I saw the cult. I realized what was going on, and I got the fuck out of there.
The idea is way bigger than just some certain group of people who are trying to get attention on YouTube because they talk about that subject. You know what I'm saying? The subject itself. I've been independent of all those people, and I've been like hardcore flat earth all this time.
As us people on this hangout, it would be fine, but unfortunately, 95% of flat earthers are dumb as shit.
Hey, I just noticed they're talking about me in the chat, so I'm going to give a shout out to a few people.
Go ahead, Vlad.
Lee, Rick Resonator. Who else mentioned me? Or Cigarface.
Cigarface.
Big Mac Miller, Light.
Vicnoid 1.
Yeah, Vicnoid. Shout out to everybody there. I've been looking back and forth in the chat, and yeah, I don't go through it for a few minutes and hear everybody's saying stuff about me. All good stuff, but
they're all good guys, man. My chat's good. People.
I just seen it right now, and I've been going back and forth, but then when I had waited a little longer than I had been, that's when everybody's saying stuff. I'm like, what the fuck?
Was it just me? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Was it just me? Was it just me, or did Riggs sometimes sound like Tim Osmond faking an accent?
I think a Colorado accent's quite
almost, yeah.
He sounded like a jilted John to me, which I put in the chat a few times. But
no, not John LeBlanc. It did sound like. That's why I thought first. Maybe now you mention it, I was like, "Is this the fucking Timmy? Is this Timmy boy over here?" Oh yeah, shout out to Timmy too, because he said earlier during all that stuff. I think I was off at the time because that's when Rusted and Danny was on there. Saying I need to start drinking to be able to deal with her. With her talking. That was pretty fucking funny.
But only women would bring the drama, eh? Trust women, Cakes, to bring that kind of drama here.
Right.
What do you have to say for your fellow people, Cakes?
Oh.
What do you think of the point Rusted made? Do you think she made any good points, or did you think it was just all kind of ad hominem stuff?
The problem is that without any actual evidence of anything, it's very difficult to judge which side to be on. You know, which so I don't want to hate on either of the women.
There was a lot of stuff that she was saying that needed, I felt needed to be backed up. If you're gonna be saying stuff like that about somebody, you need to have some backup.
Yeah.
Well, so you can deny stuff and say, hey, I did that. You don't really need a backup. But somebody say, hey, you did this. I mean, that's like when you go to court. You only go into court because somebody accused you of something. If it's true or not, that's what the courts are decide for. But if you don't have that evidence, the person's innocent. I feel. I mean, that's the whole point of innocent to proven guilty. So
it doesn't necessarily mean that.
Did you get any emails? Did you get emails, Cakes?
I haven't had any emails yet. No.
Okay, so that's not good because wasn't somebody supposed to be sending you stuff?
Well, I did say like I want to see the videos, but they haven't put the videos up yet.
Well, they said a bunch of screenshots. You asked for screenshots. You were asking for screenshots. Those are easy to send.
Yeah, I said send them to me, but at the same time, if somebody's using their phone and they don't use a computer, like if I'm watching a YouTube show, like when I'm watching VB always streams late at night, so I watch it on my phone in bed. I couldn't be emailing people things at the same time as watching VB. So, you know, I mean, I'll let you guys know tomorrow on our show. You know?
Yeah, if you get anything, yeah.
One versus one me.
Yeah, catch me and D.
Have you got any topics in particular lined up?
Yeah, we're going to be talking about tonight and how sad it was, and
yeah. But no, me and Dee we haven't actually spoke this week, which is a bit strange because usually I probably text him or phone him about a problem or about an issue or about something. I usually end up phoning Dee at least once a week, and I haven't phoned him this week. I've been very busy this week. But in regards to the other woman things that we were talking about earlier,
Rusted.
Just before I went to go to the toilet. Sorry, Vlad. You what, mate?
Oh, yes. Sorry. Before you say anything, that's my big point. It doesn't matter what Rusted said. I still don't understand where her place in this is. Was she also sexting with Eyestosee, or was she sexting with one of these other guys?
You're wondering why she's so involved in it. Like, why she's so involved.
Oh, that's what I said earlier in the chat. Nobody brought it up. As how does she Rusted become a mediator of all these 10 guys or these however many guys? How did all of a sudden she become a mediator and be able to tell everybody else what's going on? That was what I was curious about too. Like, how did that happen?
She said she had all this proof too.
Yeah.
Is it reverse white knighting?
And the other thing I want to say is the chat keeps saying, like, say Andersance has just said Rusty is trouble. See, I see you in the chat a lot. We're cool. You know, I haven't got my camera on. Sorry, you can't see my face. You can't see my expressions. I haven't got any issues with you. Sorry, bro. I'm eating crisps. That's why.
Sorry, bro.
I'm munching. Sorry, bro. I'm munching. See, the thing for me is just because you say that they're not okay, doesn't. If one of the 4 people on this channel that isn't me right now said to me they're not cool, watch out for them, I would trust them. You know, I feel like us 4, I know these guys pretty well now. I have especially D. If D tells me somebody's okay, you're okay. You have won my seal of approval. You know, I've known D now for quite a few years. We get on very well, but I'm still going to make my own opinion on something. I don't know Rusted at all. I don't know who she is, so I don't want to just judge her based on one conversation, on one night, on one topic, on one thing, because that's not fair. And I think a lot of women will band together and be like, oh yeah, okay, so you said this, therefore they must be right. No, stop this fucking nonsense.
She's into the carnivore diet as well.
Well, then I hate it. Can you imagine?
She was shocked by the end of the whole thing that we were calling her out while she was the one complaining and trying to come on there and play the big victim. By the end of it, she was like apologizing to the world for her evil deeds and shit, you know?
Who was that? Daniel?
Danny, whatever her name is. I see. Because in the beginning, she came in and she was assuming, oh, I'm going to play the little girl here. And and we were all going to be like, yeah, fuck you, Rusted Soul. You don't know shit. You know, this is our friend and all this shit. And you know, but we just had to seek out the truth, and we just
we're fair, man. We're fair.
And I think that's a warning to everybody.
Remain pretty unbiased as an outs, because I wasn't in the hangout then. I was in the chat, and you guys did seem to stay pretty unbiased. Yeah, you were making points on both sides. So
there was not enough information for any of us three to be like, "Hey, now you're obviously in the wrong." You know, I don't think any of us are like that. You know.
Oh, but don't get me wrong. By the end of the conversation, you were starting to make up your minds, I think. But for the most part, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult because the first time we met her for the first like half an hour, I was like, cool. I mean, I even messaged Dick. I messaged him on Facebook, and I was like, I like this girl. This is 6 weeks ago, I think, roughly, when we first met. Eyestosee. I was like, I like this girl. She's coming here with facts. She's coming here with things that she knows. I like this. You know, we don't see that with many women. There aren't many women on here that I've seen that can say this, and this, and actually have things to back it up. So I was like, I like her. But then she lost me when she started talking to you two about Star Wars and all your fucking mumbo jumbo nonsense. And then Jed's like passed out. Like, I don't give a fuck about this.
I don't think I've ever been on a hangout with Eyes.
You have. Eyes is the girl with the hat.
Yeah.
Which is Danny.
I'm sure I missed the week she came on the panel.
You were there. No, as your manager, D, you were there, and you and VB started talking nonsense, and my eyes glazed over.
I do remember talking Star Wars, but I thought that was with Vlad and VB. So
no,
the girl was there.
There was a girl here. Do you know when it was, D?
No, we were talking about the horror flicks.
Yeah, but that's what. Oh,
that's the girl. That's
maybe I'm mixing up conversations then. Yeah, because we were talking about horror flicks and we stayed online.
No, that was a couple of weeks ago. No, that was a couple of weeks ago. It was before then. Do you know when it was?
Right.
It was when I first got my ring light, D. It was longer than 6 weeks ago. It was when I first got my ring light when Dan went away, and I had my setup in a different place, and I didn't have my camera on at all, and I had to get Jed to put me into the channel in a different way because I was using the laptop and just the laptop because I didn't have my camera on because I wasn't going to come on because me and you were playing ranked on Warface and you went on and I was like, fuck it, I'll come on as well. That's that night. Do you remember that when Dan wasn't here? Dan was in
I remember that situation. I obviously don't remember the night. And not being funny, like I usually pay attention to women as well because I'm a man and I'm a pretty terrible man at that, by VB standards at least. But she obviously didn't make an impression on me, so I'm so sorry, Eyestosee, but I don't fucking remember.
But yeah, so I thought she was pretty cool.
She was, but I mean, all this drama. Think about this: that girl brought all of that drama in tow with her to us. None of us even knew it existed, okay? All of a sudden, so what went on behind the scenes to where she escalated things to where she's going to now drag her dirty laundry out and put it on the toilet, courtesy of Ed YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I would mention it. It's just because the chat was going crazy. The chat was just like, we were having a conversation and the chat was just going mental.
She brought it here.
Kake's fault. It was Kake's fault. So don't blame Eyestosee. It was Kakes who asked for it.
But at the same time, when do I ever bring shit?
You don't.
When do we ever have loads of blokes being like blah blah? Like there's blokes in here that say Kakes you're hot, Kakes you're this, Kakes you're that. Do I ever entertain it? No, I just say, oh, thank you, yay, look at me, woo. Like with Dan sat right there. You know, you guys know I could turn the camera on. Dan's there. I never bring drama. And that's the problem I had is how can one person, like gender to me is irrelevant, like it's a person. How can one person bring that much drama to a channel where the three main people
on their sort of YouTube lives in a way?
It's because of anonymity and sock accounts. If people weren't allowed sock accounts, that wouldn't have happened tonight. Yeah, that only happened because there are cowards who can't put their own channels on the line when they're saying stuff against people.
Tonight, did that girl get exposed or did she expose herself?
Oh, she exposed herself completely, yeah.
Because people in the chat were saying early on, they were saying, oh man, this is all her fault. She brought all this with her, you know. look at this drama. It's kind of obvious
when she could have ignored it
from all these different angles at her and shit, and she's just like admitting to all this stuff, and then I'm just like sitting there being like, but you know, blam, I'm dropping a smack down, and her eventually having to concede to it. That's just, I don't think anyone's ever stood up to her and her narcissism that way. And I think it started when she was talking about her mom is a complete narcissist, her sister's a complete narcissist, but I'm not like that and shit.
I didn't catch the narcissist side of her not being funny. I think if she was a narcissist, she wouldn't have lasted 2 minutes. She would have gone like after 2 minutes. She lasted.
She's that manipulative. She fought back for that long, thinking she could win because she's that much of a narcissist. She's like high level narcissist, and she knows it. She's sitting there playing like, I never thought of it that way. Yeah, bullshit. How many times? How many fucking decades has she been saying that when dudes have been standing up to her fucking bullshit? But I don't know. I mean, she has 3 babies from this one dude. He must have put up with a lot of bullshit to have put 3 babies out.
Like, see, this is a problem. This is the issue I've still got. Like, I mean, men aren't men nowadays, and this is like from, like, say, for me talking about me. I didn't stand up to my woman for 15 years. I was with her for 20 odd years, and like I shouldn't have been with her for more than 5 or 6, if you know what I mean. But because I didn't stand up to her, I was with her for a lot longer. So shit does happen. There are people out there that put up with shit they shouldn't put up with. It shouldn't happen. It does.
Because all the women have got the cards and like they've got the ball in their court when it comes to like splitting up, and they get the kids, they get the property and kind of whatever to house those kids, and the guy kind of just gets kicked up out in the curb. So they feel like they're locked into some relationships, I think, or they just lose everything, not just the wife.
And then that's what I was trying to say. Like, that man doesn't have a choice but to try. Like, he doesn't, because look at how much he has to lose. She has nothing to lose. She has absolutely nothing to worry about. If they split up, she keeps the house, she keeps the kids, she keeps her everything. I mean, we have all seen this in this lobby here.
And because she's got so many guys falling over for her on the internet, and she's quite open to her husband about that, she probably feels like she's got that against them. Kind of like, well, if we split up, I've got all these guys in a line waiting for me. And
this brings us to what VB said a few weeks ago. Women have so many choices, and VB said this the other week. Well, it might have been a while ago, but women choose the best option. Most women. I mean, I've never told you. I don't think I've ever told you this story, but for about 6 months before me and Dan got together, I was talking to this guy, and he was earning triple, like 100K a year, and I turned him down to be with Dan because we gelled better. You know, we just work really, really well. And me and this other guy, we didn't work as well. Dan didn't earn anywhere near that kind of money, but it seems like this woman is looking at all of her fucking options, looking at every one and which one is the best one for her. Yes, VB.
There's a name for this. It's called hypergamy, or also known as monkey branching. It's a known phenomenon, and it's especially prevalent now that we live in a matriarchal society where, you know, feminine liberal sexuality is encouraged and rewarded.
But the trouble is, I don't blame women. I blame men for this. For becoming these sad, pathetic shadows of what they used to be. Like,
what to do? You've got to ask her what her thoughts on feminism was. That would have told us a lot. That would have told us a lot.
We asked her before, and she's one of those like allegedly traditionalist women who are like,
okay.
That was then, though, you know, and she kind of got called out tonight for being a manipulative sociopath who changes her story constantly. We kind of like really put her feet to the fucking fire tonight. I did. I know I did. I know I was a little rough on the bitch.
Actually, she did it. We've been talking about she did this to herself. She did it to herself.
And that's the other thing.
She had the guts to come in here.
What kind of woman comes online and comes onto a panel like this? She's been on Jed's show before. She's seen Jed's show many times because I've seen her in the chat. I would never air out mine and Dan's laundry like that. If we had any kind of laundry, we don't. But Just put it in the dryer. Thanks, Web.
Well, you talk about his dick in your mouth every 5 minutes, so wouldn't it be like
that's sexual? That's but you know, I would never come on here.
Yeah, it's not like she'd come on and say Dano's got a tiny little penis and all that kind of thing. Right?
So you know. But like I don't understand what kind of woman comes online and shares that much stuff about their marriage. Yeah. Do you know? I mean in that much serious detail.
Yeah, the kicker is she's criminal herself.
Well, the kind of woman that would do that is one who's playing out her strategy by dragging her shit out in front of the public to gain even that much more control over her man. Maybe it's a last-ditch effort. Maybe he's just like so nonchalant that it's like driving her so fucking mad that she's willing to get involved with other dudes, do all this weird furry shit that they were talking about. Fucking come out here and then drag it all in so that we can all lay the smackdown on her and fucking give her the hardest marriage counseling she's ever experienced in her life.
You lost your unbiasedness there by adding weird to the sentence before furry, because that's just, again, your subjectiveness on it.
Well,
because there are lots of sexual fetishes that I don't agree with, but most people or a lot of people seem to find quite normal.
Well, I call
a sexual fetish, it doesn't necessarily mean what you would call a sexual fetish.
I kind of looked at the history of the furries, and it began in like comics. It was like half human, half animal sort of characters, and people loved these characters, and they started dressing as these characters, and it was very innocent, very, very fucking organic. It was just people loving the sort of human animal characters. But then it got hijacked by fucking pedos, man. I swear, even the original furries are ashamed of what the furry community has turned out to be. These gangs of orgies, they fucking spunk and fur and costumes, and I looked into it, man. It is some sadistic shit. You can say it's subjective, but I've looked quite into it, and I'm like, what is this about?
I've got to say, I'm not familiar with the term furries, so now I don't even want to look into it. But I figured it was some kind of sexual fetish with context.
Don't look into it. The lightest you want to go into it is play Saints Row 4. I've got it. We can game share. Play Saints Row 4, and that is the lightest you will go into it, and it will creep you the fuck out, and you won't want to know anymore. And what I think she was doing personally is that I think she was doing this to play the victim card, so that she can show other future like prospectus men, this is all the shit that I've had to put up with this. This is what's going to happen. Blah blah blah. Look at me. Oh, I'm such the victim. Exactly. So that she can find a better man than her husband. Now, I think her husband is a fucking. From the brief few seconds that we saw of her husband,
he's a saint.
He is a saint. Like I don't think she deserves him at all. No, he has put up with too much. He's
put up with an awful lot. Yes, he's got to take his part in that, but she can't blame him for the fact that he sits around on computer games and pays her no fucking attention.
Some women are never satisfied.
Like, she was with him. Like,
but is she over? He's just sitting on the Xbox or the PlayStation all day. Is she's being
been
like
over that for years?
She could be a nympho. She could be a nymphomaniac, and he just can't fucking give her it fucking 5 times a day. You know what I mean? He feels like the failure. He feels like he's not man enough. You know what I mean? It's like fucking.
And the other thing is that if that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do. Like, you can't go into a relationship thinking, okay, he's a gamer, so I'm going to change him. Like, I don't do that with Dan. He plays his Xbox all day. Yes, it annoys me. And if I want something doing, I ask him to do it. And 9 times out of 10, he does it. The odd occasion I get annoyed and text D and be like, he's not doing it. You know, laughing.
See, I'm a gamer, like I say, so I understand his situation. Like, I'm not going to change that shit for a fucking woman. Like, if you know what I mean, she can either fit in with it or she can fuck off. And this is the problem nowadays. And this is what I'm saying. He maybe felt he had to change. Did he feel he had to change because he wanted to change? No. Because he didn't want to be a gamer anymore? Or did he change because he felt that he needed to change in order to fit into what her expectations of a man were?
3 kids.
Hey, real quick, I think you need to make an invitation to them both tomorrow on 1 versus 1 me, and discuss this a little further in depth. Because now we're speculating. Now we've gone beyond the point of what the knowledge we know. We're starting.
We're adding our own context. We're adding our own context.
Yeah, you're speculating now.
Yeah.
That's what happens when people put shit out on the internet. People
speculate. I know. That's what I said. They need to come back. So if you two hear us, you're more than welcome to go to 1 versus 1 me tomorrow. And at least I hope so.
Yeah. You are all welcome to 1 versus 1 me.
But I think it'd be a good suggestion.
It's a very similar layout to this. For those of you who don't know who me and D are, it's a very similar layout to this. Free speech. Say what the fuck you want. We're not going to ban you in chat.
No more.
We don't have any moderators apart from me and Kakes. So
yeah, we are the only. Same with Jed. He is the only mod here, which is why I couldn't put the link in the chat. Deal with it.
If we're doing cheap plugs,
go on, BB.
If we're doing cheap plugs, sorry, Vlad, just a second. Massive shout out to Cigar Face. Much love, much respect to Cigar Face. Just bringing it in the fucking.
Who the fuck is that in the picture? His picture, is that like fucking some Elvis impersonator or some shit? Who the fuck's that?
Like
that's that guy from Family Guy that they put on, isn't it? I can't think of his name.
It's like a country singer. Is that a country?
Yeah, country singer.
Chuck Buck, something like
that. No. It's somebody Connors possibly, or
Chuck Connors.
It looks like
FaZe is here now, and I've seen him on Hitchhikers, I think.
Hey guys, hold on.
Sorry.
I want to shout out fucking Rick Resonator and fucking Ultimate TV 9000. Of course, Vic Noid and FaZe and Cigar Face and fucking Ed and Andrew Hewitt and Andre.
Conway Twitty.
Conway.
Sorry,
yeah. And
that's what I was gonna say.
And Rusted Soul and fucking Riggs for having the sack to come on here like that, even though we were like really fucking up his entire worldview. Probably. You probably never heard anything like that before.
I think it's Ron.
I'd really like to speak to Ultimate TV, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, yeah,
I'd really
Ron.
like to
see
Ron, how he feels.
That's what I meant is Ron. And then also thanks to Riggs for just coming in here with all his little fucking drama and shit. That shit was fucking next level. He exposed the shit out of that girl.
But he was trying to be polite to begin with. I felt he was holding back to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah. She wanted him to do that. Otherwise, why would he? She manipulated him into doing that. Right? Did she not? I mean, why else is that dude running around being like, hey, guess what, everybody? This bitch is a fucking hoe.
Right. He may have been manipulated in this situation, but he really appeared to me. It came across to me as a jilted John. Right. That's what it appeared like to me. He was just somebody that was spiteful.
He's maybe been suckered in. Maybe he got the wrong impression, because girls can do that. Give off the wrong impression.
Yeah.
As well.
No, it's very easy. Yeah.
I suppose he did say. Did he not say that they says they loved each other fucking many times?
Yeah.
Shit like that, so.
Yeah.
Ultimate says she is a nymphomaniac on GHB addiction. What do you want?
What's GHB?
Intense, like ketamine, like tranquilizer drug.
That's like the perfect woman.
How can you have a high sex drive on a tranquilizer? Come on.
No, but it's like girls who do heroin and shit. They just kind of become a dead body and shit, and then the men give them the heroin so they can abuse them and shit, basically.
So I think, honestly, the more I find out about the internet, man, the more I think, why the fuck am I still here?
That's how it is. That the heroin dealer always has his bevy of like zonked out fucking bodies at his disposal. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, it does. Like, it sickens me how much men have abused women over the years, and this isn't just what stories I'm hearing online. This is like real life shit as well. Like, I mean, it just like I didn't hear about any of this again until I got into the conspiracy world. I mean, all right, yeah, I've had stories throughout my life of different bits and that, but you don't realize how like far fucking reaching it is. So I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted on a few issues and shit, but it's like, see, because obviously I've always had an idea in my head of men, a real man being a man, like not beating up on a woman, not like preying on anyone weaker than them, basically, and like the real man being the one that helps and shit, and just finding out that that's never been the case. It was just an illusion brought on by fucking movies and fucking horse shit, and actually men are fucking disgusting pieces of shit.
Media and movies, like you said, have made men like bow down on one knee, can fucking grovel, can like we think by watching these things that's what women want.
In a lot of cases, it seems like they fucking should. They should apologize for all this
that's
shit.
That's real, man. That's the real. When you're in the bedroom with your missus and suddenly you grab her hair and she likes it. What's going on there? There's something primitive there. Yeah, I mean when you have a big,
I mean, like rough nookie, that's different.
No,
isn't
that's
it? Like,
what I mean. Like there's something there that the women like, that it's not in the media. It's not being pushed. Again, that there's something that men have over women that we didn't even really know. We've been sort of taught that we've not got this power over women. That women do like the man that's a wee bit more assertive, that's a wee bit more forceful. I'm not talking about rape. You know what I mean?
Oh no, it doesn't. No, this is the thing. You shouldn't have even had to say that. But in this day and age,
it's having a dominion over them, and it's having dominion over them. That's not a control or power thing.
When she said earlier,
they want somebody to be able to guide them.
When she said earlier that fucking she writes some letters, like he writes her a letter every morning, and VB turned around and said, that makes you feel sick. And she was like, yeah, it kind of does. And there you go, right there. That's the fucking...
And she immediately tried to say no straight away. Like, do you know when you play the word game with somebody, like VB, what's the first thing you think of when you say flower? And you know, it was like that. It was, you know, but from a female's perspective of what you're just saying, I like that because
in the
bluntest way possible, I like to know my place. In the bluntest way I can possibly say, shut up, you, Daniel, looking at me as soon as I say that.
It's not even dragging you by the hair to the kitchen. And it's subtle things like the men will do something and they'll want a wee reward for it. Go and make my dinner. I've just fucking painted the fucking scene. But if you're sitting there and playing computer games all day, the women's got to think, well, I'm not making his fucking dinner. What's he done all fucking day? He's just fucking playing computer games. But if you fucking be you the man, you should be. The woman will be the fucking woman she should be. You know what I mean? But if you're a fucking lazy man that fucking sits about playing computer games and fucking talking about yourself and too bothered about his own reflection and shit, women aren't going to like that shit. Again, and we've been, in a way, modern society's kind of trained us to be like that after a while. Okay? We're kind of turning into women. It's fucking, and that's no offense to women, because those traits are good for women, but those traits are bad for men. Like this weird, I don't know. I feel like I'm like trying.
You're not correct.
But then it's difficult. Is he going to work every day and then coming home and playing Xbox? Because fair enough. Okay, hiccups. You know,
but
like that.
But you've got 3 kids. You need to prioritize. You can't just go to fucking work every day and come home and play Xbox. You've got kids. Spend a fucking couple of. You've got to prioritize your time.
Do you really think she's throwing pussy at him that hard all the time? Doubt it.
And
I said he didn't have sex for 2 years.
And then I think that
she cut him off. It's like typical fucking behavior when it comes to like a proprietary divorce. I'm gonna take what I want from this, but I have the kids. If you know, so she's just, well, I'm just gonna manipulate the best situation possible, and it's all her. It's brutal.
It's really difficult because like when Dan comes home, if Dan's been at work, I cook dinner.
Sorry, Kakes. Sorry. Just for one second before I lose the thought, I'll let you carry on. It's not all her fault, though, VB. It's the man's let her get like that. It's our fault because we've gave her that power. You know what I mean? Like the lazy man that's let the woman get a wee bit stepping over the line a wee bit. Sorry, Kakes, on you go.
Either way, you're giving her the power still, because she's saying, if you're acknowledging that some woman thinks that you are lazy because she said so, and then you're going to validate that by, well, let me go out of my way and do everything I can for you. I mean, like there's just such a fine line there, a gray fucking area about how to handle that pressure. And what it is that Danny was looking for I'm going to divorce and take everything. And then there's the whole, don't take my kids from me. And then she's like, well, then you're going to live up to all these ridiculous fucking standards. And it's all a big shit test. And she has him. That's the frame of mind she has him in. And he's all like, I'm willing to work it out. I'm willing to write her love letters every fucking day. And you see, it's just, she's completely fucking manipulated this guy. Either way, she's winning huge over this guy. And that's why I said he needs to get the fuck out of there, because that bitch has got him by the ball. She's manipulating the shit out of him.
It's like,
not healthy.
You're both
he is
right.
a sociopathic narcissist, and it's sickening. And I'm just trying to save a life.
And Jed, I think you're right there, because he has let her get like that, in the sense that, but could it be because he's scared of losing his kids?
He's got to take the gamble, though. He's got to take the gamble. Like, is the wild card. Is he willing to be pissed all over? Is he willing to be pissed all over and let all these guys fucking like sort of flirt with her and say they love her and all that shit?
Cam sex.
And
stand cam sex.
Aye, and stand there practically beside her while it's all happening. There's a level there, like there's a like as much as you love your kids, Cakes, you're not willing to get shat on. You know what I mean, there's a fine line there. You got to sit right. In one hand, I love my kids. But on the other hand, my missus is shitting all over me, and I'm going to fucking strangle her to death if I didn't get out of this house.
Yeah, but where did losing his kids come from? Where did losing his kids come from? It sounds like they have a close enough relationship where she's not going to be stopping him from seeing the kids. Like, I mean, that didn't seem like it was going to be an issue. I'm not sure where this issue's come from.
Further investigation is required.
Yeah.
Because even if yes, okay, maybe he wouldn't lose his kids, period, but he's still only then seeing his kids once a week or on a weekend or every other weekend. Is that really, like, I know that killed my dad.
Not being
that
funny,
destroyed
it sounds
my dad.
like it sounded like to me, if anything, she wanted to get off shagging. So why would she be the one with the kids? Maybe he would gain the kids.
Because that's how society works. No, because that's how society works. Even if you're a fucking heroin addict, crackhead mother, you still get to keep the fucking kids for some reason. Doesn't matter, what you are, as long as you push them out of your vag, you get to keep the kids. And this is what I've seen. I have seen crackhead mother friends of mine that have still got to keep their kids. And I know the dads personally, and the dads are good guys, crying to me because they can't see their kids, even though their druggo ex-missus has the kids, because that's the way society is geared. That man has no choice.
The kids are a fucking wild card. They're a wild card in the game. They are a trump card that cannot be defeated.
Yeah,
they're the highest card in the game.
Right now, that is the case. Like in society, like if you're a woman, you got the kids. There's no unless you are a total crackhead. And the guy is much more financially. But usually, if a woman's a crackhead, the guy's a crackhead. So
there's an overlying assumption that she wants control of the kids and doesn't want a life where she can go off shagging all the time. So, not being funny, I'm putting myself in the mindset of wanting to be off shagging all the time. The last thing I want is 3 little kids holding me.
Then why do so many women do that? Why do so many women do it then? I mean, that doesn't make sense. That's what women do. They use the kids.
Yeah, usually because the men have abandoned them and don't want anything to do with the kids. Like usually, when a man wants something to do with the kids, the women will let the man. They will chuck their kids at the man in order to get the fuck out of the house and get the fuck away from the kids. Like I have
seen women. I have seen women who are on my Facebook friends list who do not want the kids because they want to be out getting strange every fucking night, but still get the kids. And they've been to court over this, and the man has fought for custody. Like I have male friends who have fought for custody, and the women just want to be out shagging and I've got fucking skets. Sorry for the Americans who don't know what skets mean. It's slags, whores on my friends list who don't really want the kids, but have got the kids, and they do it because of the fucking extra money. Like I have seen these women do this. It is sick and disgusting. Like it's
the norm. It's the fucking norm. That's the problem.
It's how courts go.
Yeah. How do we get there?
Horrible.
Thanks, third wave feminism.
See, the funny, I don't know.
Third wave feminism is shit.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with the whole parent the women getting the kids. Like, I don't know. It should be how capable the parent is. I think it's not if they're male or female. It should just be how capable and how financially stable they are, and they can put a roof over the kid's head and feed them. It doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter if it's a male or a female. So,
you think do you think the culture could shift to that kind of a frame of mind in the court system after this whole COVID recession? And all
I guess
shit?
it did. Guys would be begging for the fucking old ways. Give the fucking mother the kids back. I preferred it. Fucking. I think men have got used to it, taking their kids to the McDonald's every weekend and shit like that. So I
really hope there's a cultural shift, because I see a lot of my male friends who are distraught that even getting joint custody is a struggle. Like, even getting joint custody is difficult and it's sickening. Like, even if the kids are spending 1 week at the mum's and 1 week at the dad's, I know it's difficult, but even then, you know, it's really sad. It's horrible. Like, I have a lot of male friends that we don't have that. We go back and forth between this a lot with the family values and how we used to be, like back in the 60s, when, you know, you'd have a household and that was your household, and you don't have that anymore. And it's sad to see all these men as broken shells of humans, because women know that if a relationship falls apart, the woman's keeping the child no matter what. You know, as a woman, you're keeping that child, you know. Like, I knew that when I broke up with my ex. When I was 5 months pregnant.
You always know you have a really good shot in the court at getting that kid.
Yeah, like we all know that nobody's gonna take your kids away because you're the woman. You have a vagina, so it doesn't matter. And I feel bad for the men on my friends list.
How did it get that way? I wonder, when did it turn that way? Again, when was it that it fucking suddenly turned that way?
The 60s and 70s, and Americans started getting all these divorces, and like it became the drug, sex, orgy culture of the West. You know, that's when it really basically hit the fan. And then the 1980s were like the peak of that decadence. And then the 1990s were all grungy and dark because everyone had fucking died from their overindulgence in the 80s, and everything got all dark. And in the 2000s, everything became candy, pop.
I think it's even simpler than that. I think that if you go back to the 60s and you go back to the 70s and the 80s, men had these gender roles, and men would be the ones who would have the higher paying jobs, the jobs that they couldn't leave, because if they leave, they'd go back to square one and they'd have absolutely nothing. Yeah, so of course the women would keep the kids. Of course the women would. It made sense back then. But now, when everybody's got part-time jobs and not a real fucking career, like I have nobody. Yeah. I'm 27. Nobody on my friends list has a real career, like an actual fucking career where they make bank. Like, barely any of my friends just have them. So I don't think it really matters now. But back then it did matter. The men couldn't leave their job. They wouldn't be stable if they did. And that's where the child support comes in.
Yep.
It's geared that way. It has been for a while.
And that's the way some like schemes are built. Like where I come from, Wester Hales, there's a lot of girls that just go out there just to get pregnant, just to get a flat on the council with benefits, and the whole it's all driven by a child. Again, and never wanted to stay with the guy long. Again, the long-term relationships was never the first priority in their minds. It's just get a kid so I can get on benefits, get extra money for child support, so I can get a flat, get free rent because I'm getting benefits. And it's that sort of, and there's a whole generation of women like that, like from where I come from.
The brilliant thing, though, is that a lot of the Eastern European, primarily white countries, you know, are now rewarding couples for having the babies, but also they're not giving them the reward unless they actually are married and are living with their children. And for every child they produce, you know, if they produce over 5 children between the two of them, they get like a lifetime tax break of $20,000 or something like that. Like every year they get a tax deduction of $20,000 automatically. And then each child is like, how many, bless you. Each child is like $5,000, but they have to stay married and they have to raise those kids. It's brilliant. You know, it's like they hijacked that entire system and put the man, God bless you, but they put the man back into the equation. They've reversed feminism by doing that. You see what I'm saying? They've created the family unit again, and they're rewarding their citizens through massive tax breaks.
I heard Russia were doing that, like.
Yeah, I think it's like Romania and Poland. Yeah, Austria, Romania, Poland.
Did you realize that Hitler did that? That was something Hitler did.
Why not hijack that back from the matriarch?
Oh, yeah, I don't have problems at all. I think that's the way it should be that way. You get rewarded for staying as a family.
So is that like high-level socialism, VB, you reckon?
Well, no, they're rewarding them, but they are people that work. Like it's a tax credit. It's not like they're just going to hand you it. It's like you work for the year, you pay your taxes on your income, and then whatever the balance is, they probably end up sending you back more money because you have these beneficiaries, these kids that you have to, these dependents that you have to take care of. And it's a reward for the longer you stay married. Yeah.
You take accountability for what you're doing, and not just being rewarded for not knowing nothing.
Exactly, and it's kind of like stimulus packages, basically, but it's for the working class. You know, it's like. It's not a welfare thing. It's like, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's a bribe to stay together. Yeah.
Well, no, it's a bribe. No. What I was going to say is that it's only working as they move towards a more capitalistic society, where it's like you work for your wages instead of a more communist-based socialist society where people had time off work, and when they were at work, they just do the minimal amount. Because they get the automatic socialist paycheck, you know.
That's what America's going to turn into, man. This massive socialist country.
That's
and
what
it's going to be driven. It's going to be driven by nationalism, and fucking. You're going to have Apple factories, Sony factories, fucking all those fucking companies are coming home, baby, and China are going to be struggling to try and buy some shit for you instead.
Well, see, this is something we've always needed to bring back in the West, the manufacturing. We needed that from the start. Like, I mean, the biggest mistake we ever made was privatization. It really is. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I know the alternative is nationalization, which government controls everything. But back when they controlled it all, it was a lot fucking cheaper. It was a lot more fucking reliable, and it was a lot fucking cleaner.
The mainstream news has been reporting that a lot of manufacturing already is coming back.
Yeah, well, we've seen Trump walking about factories. I've seen that, and I heard something in Britain. They were talking about factories in Britain as well. I was thinking, fucking hell, they're coming back. They're already talking about factories.
There's plenty of open spaces for it, honestly. I mean, I live near a couple of industrial estates, and there's loads of empty lots, so there's plenty of space for people.
Yep. Right, guys, it's been a good show. It's been fucking. We've had our ups, we've had our downs. It's been good, and I'm going to plug D and Kakes before I go because it's hitting the 3 o'clock mark on our side, and I'm getting tired, guys. But it's been good. It's been good. I've enjoyed it. It's like I've needed this. And guys in the chat, I appreciate it. And guys on panel, I need to tell you this, like straight up. Like I fucking appreciate you joining me every weekend. And you don't have to. I could be sitting here fucking on my own like that, just talking to fucking chat. And I just want to tell you, I appreciate you coming on and fucking. You are brilliant every time you come on. You never let me down and fucking. Cheers. Every one of you, man. And the chat as well, man. The chat, brilliant chat. Fucking. And it's
really has been I was going to say, big up the chat tonight. It's been popping.
The chat has been great.
Moving the whole fucking time.
Yeah. Been on fucking fire. And it's good, but like I said, like try and bring your spirits up. Like I was watching Dell earlier, fucking so dark and dull. And
why would you do that? Why would you do that to yourself?
I've just got this habit. I've got this habit now. And I just check up my old buddies. I'm like, how's Dell doing? And it's fucking. He's just looking like, oh fuck in the dark and oh fuck. And it's just everyone's like fucking in the chats. Everyone's fucking miserable. And it's just good to come on here, and everyone's a wee bit more upbeat, and it's good. It's good for me, man. It's good for me. It's like therapy. It's good. It's good to see everyone still human,
especially tonight.
Yeah. Like on a Sunday when we get on, and Vlad's usually there, and everybody's smiling and everybody's happy. It's a nice little boost, and I know it's that whole little. Positive outlook, blah blah blah. Like, but it's true. Like, it's nice to have everybody happy.
to think like that, like especially times like this, can try and think positive, because you do feel they are trying to put you down. They're trying to keep you in your houses. They're trying to fucking keep you away from everybody, and to have high spirits is to fight against this shit. You know what I mean? Because they want to keep you down. They want you miserable. They want you depressed. I mean, that's what makes you fucking ill.
I hate to be negative then, but I honestly don't. I think they're pushing us for civil war at the moment. I think they're pushing
fucking hell.
Yeah. Fuck your positivity. Fuck all that shit. Mate, I've got a bleak outlook on shit, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to pretend to be all fucking happy and positive when I'm not. Like, so I'm glad you guys are happy and positive. That makes me feel good. I'm not bullshitting there, but I'm not. I'm feeling shit about everything.
I think that's too localized, man. I think civil war is too local. I think it's going to be something on a bigger scale, and I think it's not going to be a world war. It's going to be an economic recession. We're going to be, I don't know if we'll be fighting over bread. I know that's a bit far fetching, but I think it's going to be hard times ahead, man. But I think we can get through it. You know what I mean? I think we can all get through it.
I've pushed those thoughts deep, dark inside my brain. Like they're right back in like here somewhere. Like, you know, that they're far away, so that I can feel much better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to. You have to. You have to do that. You have to do it. You go fucking insane.
All that stress thinking about that shit in the background, it made your hair all these different colors, though.
It has, I know. It's a side effect, but at least it's a positive side effect, eh? But after Dee just said that, I feel like I do need to call you every couple of days, Dee, just to check up on you, make sure you're okay, give you like a little positive happiness.
Don't get me wrong. There's no like suicidal thoughts going on here. I'm not gonna be a statistic.
No, I mean just to cheer you up. No, I mean just to cheer you up.
I was there for a wee while, man. Dee, maybe you heard a hangout I had, and fucking, I was speaking a bit negative for a while. The first couple of weeks, I felt sort of, my missus sort of slapped me and go, fucking, come on, Jed, you're not like this. For fuck's sake.
No, see, my problem is I'm sat here pulling my hair out thinking, why the fuck is everyone being so fucking chill about this? Like, I mean, it's ridiculous. I literally, I can't understand why people aren't scared as I am and why people aren't as worried as I am, because they're obviously not, because otherwise people up our ass is actually doing something and not just like fucking 10 people out in the field fucking protesting. It's
out of control, man.
Stuff.
See, when you realise something is out of your control, you either deal with it. Yes, it's out with our control. It's too big for us to control as an individual. So why let it drag you down, man? You just need to go with the flow and see what the fuck happens, man.
I'd love to, like I said, I do try and think like that, but that's not me. I'm just observing and all this shit. But no, unfortunately, I have got a stake in the outcome. I've got fucking kids. My eldest kid is pregnant, so she's going to be having kids. I've got a stake in the fucking outcome. I'm shit scared. I'm worried for them. I'm worried. Like, fuck me. I'm fucked anyway. I'm sat here with a fucking fractured fucking spine.
We could all worry.
My life's fucking done with.
But if you thought like that, man, you'd think, right, when I die, what about my kids? You know what I mean? It's like, they've got to live their lives as well. Even when you're gone off this planet, you're going to die before your kids. It's like you're not always going to be there to wonder what's going to happen to your kids. And it's just they're going to be people with their own destinies and their own futures and shit like that. And you're just
and don't get me wrong, they're quite happy. Like, I mean, they laugh at me when I'm talking about all this conspiracy stuff. Like, and that makes me even more worried. Like, I've not prepared them properly for what fucking shit's coming. So I don't mean to bring the shit down. Don't all go down because of me. Like, keep your positivity, be happy, fucking.
I'm just trying to transfer some of it to you so you can fucking.
So I don't need it at the moment. Man. This is the thing. This is the thing. I understand there are ups and downs in life, and at the moment, I'm in a fucking down, and things will look better in the future.
Things will always be better.
Things improve.
Things will always be better.
I don't need to be happy all the time. I'm content with my fucking life. I'll sit and play the computer all fucking day. I'm good.
Cherish how shitty this moment is, like, in time. And then when things do get better, you've got something to compare it to. So you're like, fucking remember that time when I was worried fucking about this, about that. And now everything's back to normal. We can just fucking live our life peacefully. I mean, but there'll be something else that'll fucking pop up in the future, man. You'll be all worried again. What about my kids? Again, some things are just out with your hands, man. And even if it's worrying, you just have to fucking deal with it as it comes. Cross that bridge when it comes, man. Because all you're doing right now is hypothetically making shit up in your head.
Hey,
I mean,
don't get me wrong. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm just letting you know, like, what's going on in the background. Like, just because I'm worried about this shit doesn't mean I'm not carrying on with shit as normal. And it's not like I'm sat here all the time just fucking in dread.
I know, but
right?
then you worry me, man.
mean,
You worry me speaking like this, and then I feel like fucking. You just
no,
worry
see,
me,
nobody ever needs to worry about me. See, this is the thing. The thing with me is I will always be okay. Personally, like I will always be okay because I don't give enough of a shit anymore about people. Like I just give a shit about my fucking like the shit that's gonna like.
D, what you're experiencing is 100% natural, and I'm there all the time too.
I'm fighting it, man. I'm fucking fighting it. That's what I'm saying. The first 2 weeks, I was being really fucked. I was in a really dark place, and D was actually D. You were one of the ones that came on and said, "Well, stop fucking crying about on the fucking." I was playing one of my games, and you're like, "Well, stop fucking crying about this stupid lockdown and fucking." And you kind of slapped me a wee bit, and that helped as well. I was like, "Well, I shouldn't be on the YouTube crying about how shitty this shit is." Because I was there as well, and I kind of took your advice, and now you're kind of being fucking. You need to take your own advice,
I only brought this up because everyone was being positive and all this, and I just didn't want to be thought of as being all positive and that. So I had to put my side across and let you guys know I'm unfortunately not, and that's led into this conversation. I didn't actually expect this long conversation to come of it because.
No, man. No, we just want everyone to be fucking cool. We didn't have to put on a fake happiness. We know what the fuck's going on. We're just. It's like a coping mechanism, D, man. Like when you see people smiling, you're thinking, what the fuck? Why are you smiling? There's shit going on. That's just a coping mechanism, mate. Most people want to just fucking greet and go, what the fuck? What? Most people are as confused as you. You're just too honest. And like you're expressing how you feel. And we all kind of feel that way somewhere. I mean, like, but and you need to go deep and dark and pull it out and fucking. You know, I've been there, man. I've been there. I'm still there a wee bit. But I didn't want to drag my hanger down. I try and keep a positive vibe and shit.
Do you guys think I should make my next video an audio, clip of us breaking that girl down?
Fucking hell!
Why not?
You love that shit. You're gonna be masturbating to that all night.
It's an hour and a half long.
I know. That's the thing, yeah.
I'm waiting for Trolls versus Trolls. Like, it's gonna come out on his first.
Nah. Hey, he hasn't been on for like 2 months now. He hasn't had any videos.
Yeah, I haven't. I haven't seen anything of him.
Yeah, Timothy.
Corona got him.
Maybe nothing's been going on.
Yeah, there hasn't really been much. But tonight was definitely fuel for the fire.
It was good, man. Some people were moaning in chat, and some people liked it. That's the thing.
It had its moments, but on the whole, it was just petty shit that had no place on the internet, really. Like, I mean,
no, but look what came
stuff that needed to stay personal, as far as I'm concerned.
No, but look what came of it, though. Look how many people are going to learn from that conversation that we had with her, and how many people that listen back to this are going to actually learn about themselves and like question their own actions and be like, oh, D just made a really good point. Vlad just made a really good point. Jed just made a really good point. Or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, no, that's what I say. There were good parts and stuff in it as well, but again, for me personally, maybe a bit too old school. That kind of shit to me needs to stay like personal, offline, right?
And that's why the fucking 1 versus 1 meet isn't like the toilet.
It can be like the toilet sometimes.
Yeah. Anyway.
Hey, just because we don't get as awesome guests as you get, Jed, it's not our fault, mate.
The same guests is on your fucking channel. We're usually fucking over there as well. The same fucking people.
This is our show every other Sunday is an after show of yours, and the other Sundays is just me and D chatting nonsense.
You are like the skid mark after the big shit.
With a wind down.
I'll tell you this though. Tonight,
the bleach to the toilet.
tonight we were handed a big stinky turd, and we polished it up really nice and made a gold brick out of it. You know,
we did. We did great.
It's polished it up pretty good, huh?
It's almost like flat Earth.
Once the initial drama was done, it did get good, obviously. Yeah, but when it was like cross analysis and blah blah blah, it got a bit more interesting. But when it was just laying out the situation, I was like,
you need the context, though. You need all that. You need all that. You need all the context, man, so you can make that analysis.
If you do it, BB, make sure you do it in an educational way.
Right, guys.
I was just thinking of putting it all together and just the best phrases, you know. All right, awesome seeing you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, guys.
We'll
be good.
in the toilet. I'll put a link in the description for you people.
Thank you.
Hope to see you all there. And cheers, Kakes. Cheers, VB. Cheers, D. Cheers, Vlad. Cheers for everyone for coming on, and Daniel as well, and Riggs, and the husband, and fucking, it was brilliant. I loved it.
It was.
Loved
It's a great show.
I live for this shit. Right. See you later.
Thanks, guys. Bye.